Nice.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
What's up, Timeless Gamers? Welcome to the Timeless Gamers Show, where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain timeless. Previously on TGS, we were talking co-op games. If you want to check out that episode, head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. If you enjoyed that discussion, follow us on your preferred social media platform by searching Timeless Gamers Show. To everyone watching live or tuning in via the podcast, thanks for joining us. And thanks for listening, wherever you are. We really do appreciate it. In this episode, we're reviewing the 2018 movie Rampage. So if you've seen the movie or even played the games, drop your thoughts in the comments section below, or tell us even your favorite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. We'd love to hear. I'm RV, your show captain for this episode, but let me introduce to you the rest of the TGS crew. First up, he's smart like Tony Stark. Give it up for Sir Mark.
Grabe naman yun. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Timeless Gamer Show. I'm Mark, or you can call me Ajusi. Sorry, medyo I have this runny nose, okay? For today's episode, we are going to talk about Rampage, the movie. The movie ni Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So, let's see kung anong masasabi ng fellow panelist ko. So, yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Sir Marky Mark. Mark, just curious, have you played the game Rampage before? Just so I have some questions. Or no, not really.
Not really, real talk, not
okay.
yet.
That's okay. Next up, no trains were harmed in the making of this movie. Please welcome Sir Viraj.
Let's bring it, man. Let's do this. It's going to be a very good episode. I'm actually friends with the creator of Rampage. So from someone who's not played it, I'm actually friends with the game designer, the lead game designer, Brian F. Collin on Facebook. So a big shout.
Tell him I love the game. I loved it as a
kid. I had a channel called we're the Sega Mega Masters, and there were four of us, and we used to review games and we used to give interviews to people. The last video we did, sadly, that Dan hasn't edited yet, was us interviewing him, and I learned a lot about what it was being a game designer from him back in the early 80s when he designed this game. When he worked for Bally Midway, who developed this game, and all the various tidbits, and I'll expand on that later on. But yeah, and again, with the game itself, I have played it. I played the Master System port. Okay, I know it was an arcade game. I think it was in 82 or 83 when it came out. I can't remember. It was early. Could be, maybe I'm overdoing it, stating when it was developed. But I got the Master System version. That's the one I played.
Nice.
There's obviously an NES version, but the Master System one is 2 players. I believe. I don't think the NES one was 2 players, but yes, I'm familiar with the game and the IP. So very nice. And obviously the film. Obviously, I saw the film because and I have my thoughts on it. But again, we'll expand on that later on throughout the episode.
Of course. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts about the film. Lastly, he's got more one-liners than The Rock. Put your hands together for Sir Joe.
Finally, TGS is reviewing Rampage, the movie, 2018 movie, guys. What's up, jabronis? All right. We are reviewing Rampage, the movie 2020, 2018 movie. Apparently, there's another Rampage movie back in the a few decades back, and I'm like, oh, there's another Rampage movie. No, not to be confused with the other Rampage movie. This is the actual Rampage movie with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, based from the video game. Alrighty. Unfortunately, Sir Joel is arriving late. So before he comes back here, we'll just do our usual shenanigans. Okay, Sir Ravi, go.
Thank you, Sir Joe. Yes, before we get in to the movie review of Rampage, let us do some show and tell. I'll go up first. So I have these cute little anime figures, as you can see. It's Demon Slayer. So you've got 6 characters here. Huge Demon Slayer fan. Love Demon Slayer. I love anime in general. But yeah, I got that. I'm going to set it up and show it to you later. But yeah, made in China. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
I didn't know you're a anime fan, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yes.
like Dragon Ball.
The shonen stuff, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. What I've been watching lately. Just trying to think on Netflix. I saw this funny one. Comey Can't Communicate. That's a really cute one. So if you,
Comey can communicate. Yep, we're
I'm,
familiar.
I'm
Sir
into
Joel
all
likes that.
types. I'm into
Sir
all
Joel
types
likes
of
that.
things, but I definitely love my action. If you haven't seen Demon Slayer, it's beautiful. Like really nice.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Comey can't communicate and Sir Joel, you know what? Sir Joel gave me some, some NSFW pictures of a cosplayer
Mm.
cosplaying as Comey, and you know what? Those were one of those things that really shattered my image of Sir Joel being this elderly gentleman. Right? Yeah, I mean, one of the first things that I got, one of the first things that pictures that Sir Joel sent me was like all of those racy pictures of that cosplayer. I'm like, oh shit, and I showed that to my wife, and she was like, what are you looking at? I'm like, dude, check this out. Sir Joel sent me these pictures. I'm like, and she couldn't believe it because she would, because we were always had this this vision of Sir Joel being the polite elderly guy, but he's the first one to show us some some Goonie stuff.
If Sir Joe was an anime character, he'd be Master Roshi, man. We know.
He would be a Master
lie.
Roshi.
Don't lie.
A dirty old man. Dirty old gentleman, okay.
That's a good one.
You know what?
Doing good
Actually,
job, though.
I still have that in the. I still have the pictures on my phone. However, I think the cosplayer already took it down. So whenever it's a Facebook link. Actually, was it a Facebook link or a TikTok link? So, it was a link, and whenever I push it now, it just says it's gone. So I think the cosplayer took it down.
Not viable. That's so
And you're-
good.
You know what? I should have made a screenshot out of it.
Joel.
Really? Yeah. that came from Sir Joel. Swear to God.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Up next, Sir Marky Mark. You have a show and tell, unique one,
Ayun.
update on our game, I believe.
Ayun lang. For the show and tell, I have one, but it is supposed to be something that will be in the future. So we at Timeless Gamer Show is doing a turn-based RPG game. Okay, so I can't flex it yet, but it is in development. So watch out for it, guys. Yun lang.
That looks good. Looks good. I've seen a lot of the stuff you're dropping on your Facebook. The teaser looks really good. I'm excited to play. Very excited.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks very promising.
My favorite is when you eat the burger and then you get I'm assuming you get
Eat
some
the
power
burger,
up.
yeah?
From...
Eat the burger.
That was a mad power up. Hey, because I saw this post from Sir Marky Mark of Sir was that what was that I think that it was an AI image of someone.
Yes. Oh, it's the Sawyer brothers. They are
The Sawyer
actually Yes, they're friends of ours from one of us. So I
Right.
made them as an NPD.
Now, are we actually using AI images for it?
It looked nice. I
Well,
saw it.
It looked
let's
nice.
be real. It's really hard to make those kind of pictures. I can do it, but
Uh,
it will take me like
uh,
1 week or so.
as far as Sergio is concerned about using AI images, he has no. I mean, he has no problems of using. I mean, us using AI. My only concern is that sometimes with AI and with AI drawing and animation, it's not very consistent. Like for example,
Mm.
Yeah,
if you ask AI to draw this, it comes up
right.
like this, and then if you ask another
Another
scenario, it
picture.
comes up something else different. So my concern is just the consistency of the character designs. That's it.
Right. Yes, yes.
Mm.
We need to watch out for that. Yes, I know that, but well, it's you need to tweak it for at my part. I really tweak it, so it's a hard scenario for me or hard time for me editing it, but it's all good.
Mm.
Mm.
No, it's
All
looking
right.
really good. Can't wait. And so, Raj, are you eating? Can I bother you?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's eating his Uber delivery.
me my chicken sandwich meal from McDonald's because they had other chicken, but I didn't want it because it's just too heavy. So I had something light.
Nah,
So
that's
anyway,
fair. That's fair.
He's
my
show and
sandwich.
telling his burger right there. His filet of fish.
Oh, Sonic.
Ooh.
So this
Sonic.
is Sonic
Sonic.
Crossworld Racing or Sonic Racing Crossworlds Nintendo Switch 2 edition, as it says. Put it up here.
The Switch
Ooh.
2
So
edition.
and it's got this includes bonus werehog pack. Maybe it's a skin or something, or you play as that character. I don't know. So this is not a game key card. This is a full game on it.
Ooh.
It better be.
As Sega promised, because I know Sega and a lot of third parties have a lot of key cards on Switch 2. This is Sega saying, well, we're going to put the whole game on it, and they have. I think they wanted £65 on it when it came out, which is ridiculous. I got it on sale. I got it on sale for $47.95, so it's still expensive. And I know it would have gone down further. And it's just shocking that I haven't even opened it yet. I should have just waited for it to even go down further because I'm not in any mind to play because I'm playing Shinobi right now.
Mm.
But
How's
I
it going?
wanted to buy it to support Sega because
Hmm.
this is the thing, guys. With the way physical media is going, you either buy it and just keep it and support it because the moment we will wait for things to go on sale, they're not making enough money on physical. What's going to happen? They might as well just release it digital. Where's the money we're making? You know, so there's something to be said about that. But this is a good game, and it's something I missed out on. And there's a Switch version, and there's all the other consoles. This is the last version that they've released, and it's all on the card, and I can get a good resolution because Switch 2 is the better video output, and I look forward to it because apparently it's actually better than Mario Kart World from what other people have said. Well, people have claimed it, but obviously the Nintendo fans have said, no, Mario Kart World is the one. But, I really enjoy playing this game when I get around to it on my own. Sadly, none of my friends have it, and I think that's the issue with Mario Kart World, which is if your friends got it, you're going to buy it so you can play them online. If you're going to buy it, like it's only worth getting these sort of games you're going to play online. So I'm trying to encourage friends to get it online because I got it. It's a tough one. I've got Star Fox pre-ordered for Switch 2, and again, I know my friends should buy that. And that's something I can beat them in dogfights on. You know, like I beat them in Mario Kart World. But they don't want to play Sonic Racing because they know I'll beat them anyway. No, they'll know the computer will beat them. It's too hard for them. Because a lot of my friends aren't as good as video games as I am. It's only you guys that probably might be. But I'm very good when it comes to this stuff. But anyway, yeah, Sonic Crosswords Racing on Switch 2 edition is my latest pickup. So yeah, there you go.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sir Viraj. I'll let you continue eating. Next up, we have Sir Joe. What is your show and tell for everyone?
Right. Actually, I had this before, like a couple of months now, but because we keep skipping show and tell, it's just sitting there for a while. I got so at the time of this release, JB Hi-Fi knocked it out for what, $10. So I decided to get it. Might as well.
Wow.
Dragon Quest 7
Well done.
reimagined for the PlayStation 5.
Very good.
And they were trying to hustle me, giving me the opened case version of it.
I want it sealed.
And I said, do you have a sealed copy back there?" And the lady was like, "You know what? I'll check." And she saw one copy sealed, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll take that. Same price anyway, still $10 off." I'm like, "Okay,
Nice. Good
sure."
price.
Are you going to open and play it, or are you going to sit on it like an egg waiting for it to hatch or something? Huh?
I'll wait for the PlayStation 5 to have a save hacking feature.
It's going to be a long wait, man.
It's a long wait, I know, but hey, I still have a lot of games in my backlog anyway. So you know what?
Yeah.
Eventually, it will happen. It happened in the PlayStation 3. It happened in the PlayStation 4. Eventually, it will happen in the PlayStation 5. All we have to do is now wait.
All right. So, all right.
Very
cool.
nice, very nice. I actually
You know
used
what?
to work at JB
Yeah,
Hi-Fi.
you know what? I think I'll get a play. I think I'll get a Switch 2 game first before that will happen for the PlayStation
Yeah?
5.
You'll have to get one. That's good.
No,
That's first
actually, okay. So as far as Switch 2 is concerned, I'm waiting for Nintendo to drop the latest Fire Emblem game.
Right. That's going to be
All right.
your first
If
purchase.
there's any, I mean, it's a JRPG. It's first
Right,
party from Nintendo. If there's one thing that I'll buy from Nintendo, JRPG, their first party might as well be Fire Emblem.
Mm.
I'm
I
still
like
waiting
Fire
for it.
Hopefully it's good
Very nice.
because I actually think that Three Houses was the last good one. That being said, the other one wasn't too bad either. But let's see. I'm sure it'll be a great game anyway. That's a foregone conclusion. You can't go wrong with Fire Emblem. No, I don't know any bad Fire Emblem game, and it's worth buying these things. So that's my opinion. Anyway,
Very nice. Yeah. I like Fire Emblem. Yeah. So Joe, I actually used to work at JB Hi-Fi. About
you used to work.
at JB Hi-Fi. It's kind of like I don't know
Electronic
what-
store.
Electronic store. Yeah.
Mhm.
We also have EB Games. I'm not sure if you have EB Games there in Silverage. No. I think it's
No,
in
they
the
have
US.
Tyson.
I saw. Okay. I think
They shut
it's
down, they
GameStop in the US. I
They
think.
call it some. I think they call it something else in the UK because when we did the episode of video game clerks, Sir Joel, who used to work at GameStop, Sir
Oh,
Jose used to work at GameStop as well. Sir Viraj used to work in Dyson's. Was it Dyson? Dixon's. There you go. So that's
There
their
you go.
electronic boutique kind of store.
Oh,
So apparently, Sir RV previously worked on the JB Hi-Fi.
JB Hi-Fi, yeah. But they sell a lot of it, like stuff as well, not just games, but I
Not
got my
just
drone there.
games. A lot of
Yeah.
things.
A lot of things, yeah.
Most electronics
Anyway.
and appliances, really.
Correct, yeah.
yeah, it's the same. That's the same sort of environment I worked in. Dixon's was a consumer electronics shop, but I just did the game section there. You know, TVs, laptops, and all that stuff would sell. But those were good days. But now the margins have been squeezed to nothing. So there's very few of those shops around now.
Sadly,
Even
yeah.
dedicated gaming shops like EB Games, we don't. There was Electronics Beauty in UK, but I haven't seen one in years. I think they've just been gone now. So
Well, actually, in the New Zealand, they've closed every EB Game store, I believe.
They did,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
sadly. And
Because
there's
no
a
one's
few
playing
here.
in New Zealand, apparently. No, I mean, there are no gamers in New Zealand, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyways, I'll start the game review. I'll start by giving a synopsis. A synopsis of the movie. So, in 2018, Hollywood looked at a giant monster video game with almost no or little to no story, and said, "Yeah, let's give Dwayne Johnson and spend millions of dollars on it." And honestly, respect. I didn't mind it. Directed by Brad Payton, Rampage is a sci-fi action movie where buildings explode, animals mutate, and The Rock once again proves that gravity, physics, and basic human anatomy are merely just a suggestion. The film stars.
Oh no,
Dwayne
he's not kidding, guys.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of things that can be said about The Rock selling all of the things, all of the destruction, and all of the bodily harm that came to his way. It's like, are we watching The Rock or are we watching Hulk Hogan here?
Hulk Hogan. Exactly. The film stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a primatologist so jacked He looks less like a scientist and more like the final boss of a protein factory. A protein
Can you even
factory.
believe him working as a primatologist? Really?
This man spends days studying giant gorillas, all the while arm wrestling them during his lunch breaks. So
He's a gorilla himself.
Davis, in the movie, his name is Davis Okoye, and his best
David
friend
Okoye.
Okoye, his best friend George, is a giant albino gorilla with more emotional depth than half of the characters in this movie. Honestly,
Right?
George is only friends with the Rock because he's the only creature on Earth that can make the Rock look reasonably sized. Everything changes though when a shady genetic experiment crashes back to Earth and infects animals with a mutagen that turns them into skyscraper-sized nightmares. George gets bigger. A gigantic wolf somehow learns how to fly. A crocodile evolves into what can only be described as Florida after leg day. Meanwhile, The Rock spends the entire movie doing what he does best, walking towards explosions without blinking, glaring at military officials, and looking emotionally concerned while helicopters crash behind him. At one point, the movie expects us to believe Davis Okoye was a normal special forces soldier before becoming a wildlife expert. Yes, both his resume and his Tinder profile read, "I'm an army veteran / guerrilla whisperer that likes long walks on the beach." Hello, Mommy Jane. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to her.
Mommy Jane.
The movie also stars Naomi Harris as Dr. Kate Caldwell.
Yeah.
The only person in the film remotely qualified to explain the science. She also has the unfortunate
Science.
job.
Pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience. Come on.
She also has the unfortunate job of trying to explain this to The Rock, whose primary problem-solving technique is punching the problem until it stops moving. Together, they try to stop the mutated monsters from destroying Chicago. And if you ever wanted to watch a 30-foot wolf leap across the skyscraper, a giant crocodile body slam helicopters, or The Rock surviving impacts that would normally vaporize ordinary people, then congratulations. This movie is scientifically engineered in a laboratory for you. Rampage is
Or
loud.
surviving a point blank gunshot wound to the to the gut.
Exactly.
Rampage is loud, ridiculous, cheesy, and has plot holes that only George himself can fill. Wait, you're telling me The Rock gets shot by the villain and then 5 minutes later immediately gets back up, sprinting, jumping, and fighting atop of a collapsing building without suffering any realistic blood loss or shock? It's The Rock, okay? Okay, no questions asked.
That's
Don't
The
get me
Rock.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Welcome, Sir Joel. I'm just
Hello,
in the middle of my
hello.
rant.
Yeah,
know what?
thanks for waiting for
so-
me. I was, I a slight emergency happened, but I'm here now. Thanks
good.
for letting me join up. There you
You
go.
haven't missed much. I'm just
no,
in the middle of my
what?
rant.
We'll talk more about that scene anyway. But just for added context, you know what was missing during that scene when he got shot? Oh, we're doing spoilers, by the way, guys.
I think yeah,
what was
the
missing?
movie's been released
yeah.
for a while already, so yeah, we're good with that.
What was missing from that scene? I was waiting for The Rock for like start poking up like this, and then he points at the lady, you, and start, yeah, because after he got shot, he's like he didn't sell that. No, he
No.
sold
So,
that
no
gunshot. I mean, he did for a while, but I mean, sure. I mean, uh, you can argue maybe the adrenaline is making him do all of those crazy stunts, but by the end of the movie, it's like, oh, I mean, he's still shot, right? It's like acting like it's nothing.
Dude, a gunshot isn't just a penetration to the body. It is hydrostatic shock going throughout the entire water content of your body, stopping brain activity. Honestly, yeah.
But that's the thing, Sir Joel. the other monsters, they're jack, right? I mean, they're mutated. Sure, they got regenerative powers. The Rock is just the Rock. Like,
Yes.
I mean, there's a pseudoscience of them regenerating, but this one guy, he's not mutated or whatsoever. He just
Well,
survived because he's the Rock.
well, they did explain a little bit that he was special forces before, right? And
Oh,
he used
come
to
on.
fly all over the world. So
No Manganiello is special forces, and he got wrecked.
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
although he's the star of the show, but still.
Mhm.
Look, don't get me
Anyway.
wrong. It's absolutely worth watching because at the end of the day, the movie understands one important rule. If you cast The Rock in a gigantic monster movie, nobody's asking for realism or
true.
great acting. No offense to The Rock. We're here to see a mountain of a man emotionally bond with King Kong's cousin before Chicago gets turned into a pancake. Let's start off with the movie itself before we talk about the game, its connection with the game. So, Viraj, what do you think the movie did well or what didn't work? Your thoughts?
It certainly wasn't a boring film.
Mm.
Yes. You start off on the space station with it, and there's a synopsis where before you even begin, there's a synopsis saying what they were doing, and they were banned on Earth. So obviously they're doing this experiment in space. And what the premise is they're doing genetic experiments on and basically mixing DNA with animals together and creating abominations, basically.
Genetic
and you start off-
editing.
Yes.
Quote.
And it starts off on the space station with this woman saying, "Oh, there's a mayday," and she's trying to get off, and then no, you ain't getting off the space station unless you get the samples. Like, whoa, this is some Resident Evil shit, man. What's going on? And then there's
It
some
was
floating
aliens,
rats.
actually.
Yeah.
Aliens. Yeah.
Yeah. So
was
it's very,
alien.
very similar. A lot of elements borrowed there. She gets off the space station. She gets samples. She beats the rat, but the rat damages the capsule that she's trying to evacuate from. She dies, but the pods, the three little samples that she managed to save, and this again is where the science is wrong. They managed to get through Earth's atmosphere, even though they say, it was atmospheric. It would have burnt up. Yeah, in real world, these things would have burnt up, but they said they were coated in materials that let them re-enter the atmosphere. Yeah, right. This is
Conveniently.
And they all three landed on Earth. Now, obviously, you cut to the world that we're in. You see, obviously, the Dwayne, and he doesn't like people. It's sort of told that he's more one with the animals, shall we say? And there's a little group of people, and they're going out like just looking at the apes, and then there's the albino, and then like one of the apes almost attacked one of the people, and then there's a bit of basically that's just filler to say, okay, this is this character, this is what he's about, and he can obviously sign with this ape, and he has a love for this ape called George, the albino, and so the story flows well. That's what I liked about it. It does flow. Well, yes, there are some elements which are absolutely bogus. Like I mentioned, the capsule should have burnt up in atmosphere. Obviously, you mentioned towards the end of the film where the last act film where the rock gets shot in the gut, which you can't survive. That you would have bled out. I mean, there is some silliness. There's some things that are a bit comical in here. But look, I like the special effects in this film. I think they're held up really well, to be honest. This is Joe Manganiello, and he went after the wolf, and obviously, the capsule's full, and obviously the gas comes out. One gets touched by a wolf, one gets breathed in by George, which is the ape, and one gets mouthed up by the crocodile called Lizzie. And they all have different names, and they're obviously based from the game. We'll touch on that as well. And obviously this virus has mutagens, and it causes them to mutate and get bigger and bigger, and that's it. And then they go out of control. They go on a rampage. And that's basically it. And then there's a plot. That's the plot. It's as simple as that. And then what caused them to go on a rampage towards Chicago is the people that were doing these experiments. They've got obviously evil alternatives, and on the top of the Willis Tower or the Sears Tower, they've got a radio signal that's making them go crazy and come for them. And the idea is they want to sort of inject them and get their material and do more experiments or whatever. And I'm surprised that, well, again, another thing that's just ridiculous is how the FBI didn't go for them sooner and arrest them. I mean, in the real world, they'd be done. They'd be taken over. You can't have this nonsense. What is this crap? So it was ridiculous. And obviously, there's a whole mother of all bombs thing. They're going to drop the bomb on Chicago to get rid of this. I was like, what is this nonsense? Like, it's funny though because of how ridiculous it is, and you have to follow the story. The characters are funny. You got Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He cracks me up. He steals every scene he's in because he's just Negan in a suit. From
he is Negan in a suit.
Has that man got any range?
Where's Lucille?
He's just him. Where's Lucille? You just have to laugh at him, but you laugh at the way the story goes. Obviously, Naomi Campbell's character's there, and she lies to him, and then there's that whole thing going on. Then they're on the airplane, and then the airplane crashes because he goes crazy, and then there's all sorts of interesting set pieces in this film. So, in terms of action, the action sequences are really well done. They're interesting and they're fun to watch. Yeah, it's obviously seeing Joe Manganiello getting killed is interesting, and you've got some interesting casts here. You got people that are well known; they're quite famous, all of them. Even the people that he was with. I think 3 of the actors in this TV show called The Boys that I like to watch is a laugh. So you get some people that have gone on to do better things in this. I don't think you could get this casting again because they just asked for too much money. But again, I just like the way the story was told. Yes, there were some ridiculous parts, but this is the sort of film that I don't expect to take seriously. It's just an action flick where you turn your brain off and you enjoy it for what it is. And it does what it says on the tin. It's a film that you can just turn your brain off and enjoy. It's just a Saturday night or a summer blockbuster that you can enjoy, and that's what it was. I remember when this film was advertised back in 2018, I thought, oh, great, another Kong movie. Because there were a lot of King Kong movies coming out. A lot of these sort of films coming out, like Godzilla, Kong, and this. I thought, well, now this? What's going on? Is this a fad? And then there was, what's that one, Pacific Rim? There was a lot of that towards the late 2000s, like those big kaiju, these monsters that blown up buildings. Great, another one of those.
Oh,
Really?
he has that mindset. My mindset was another movie with The Rock.
Well,
Because
that is
at the time, he's so very he pretty much saturated he saturated the whole cinema for the last 5 years in 2018.
But The Rock is fun. Like the thing with The Rock is he's just fun to watch and he's interesting to watch. Even in the WWE era, he was just fun where he used to cuss out people, the trash talk. I enjoyed watching him. He's entertaining, and I like The Rock. Yeah, I know some people have their issues with him. There's a bit of hypocrisy with these celebrities, and there is with him in certain areas. Like I remember when there was this whole business in Hawaii when there was a disaster, and he's asking for money. Well, why don't you give some money? That's what people were saying. Him and Oprah, some of the richest people were asking for people for money for this thing, and that's what, I remember. That's why people got a bit annoyed with The Rock. But I thought, you know what, he's doing what he's got to do. Other than that, I've got nothing against The Rock at all. I enjoy him, but I understand, like, you see the same actor. Does The Rock really have any range? You're just watching The Rock, and that's the way it is.
He's playing the same character over and over for the last 5 years.
Again, the story, you're never bored because you're moving from one scene, it flows to another, and it's actually structured quite well. It's a well-told story. It's just silly in certain places. There's a lot of plot armor, a lot of things that wouldn't happen in the real world, such as you made the point about The Rock. He would not have survived that. We know he wouldn't. In fact, it was just the way it went on. And some of the sequences and some of the way the story would play out wouldn't really happen. But I suppose, I don't know, it's just a fun film where you're just in there. And again, like I said, the action sequences are the film. That's why you watch this film. You want to watch the action. You want to see what's going on and want to see which animal's going to attack who and what's going to go on. I found that the only sort of thing that I didn't like, because it's what you like, what you didn't like. What I didn't like was, obviously, I mentioned the point about how some of the plot points were ridiculous. But it was the scaling of the monsters, how one was bigger than another. Like that crocodile should have been huge. Unless it had more of that mutagen. I think that might have been it, because it literally had it in its mouth in that clip you see. So it might
well, to be fair, Lizzie actually ate the thing.
Yeah.
With Ralph and George, they just sniffed it.
Yeah, they got high. They just got high. Like, ooh, yeah. And then that's it.
So basically, Lizzie got the full dose.
Yeah. So... yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously the scaling was a bit weird, but it was interesting seeing George fight with Lizzie, and I found those sequences really interesting. See how this ape is going to fight this lizard, or even with the what's it called, the the wolf, and how like the Rock got it to sort of they got them to fight against each other. I thought that was really quite clever and interesting. I thought they were well. It's a well shot film for what it is, and yes, the acting is hammy, but what I expect that's from this sort of nonsense film. But yeah, like I said, the scaling was a bit weird for me in terms of the size of the monsters and all that. I thought maybe they could have been a bit bigger, like they are in the video game, but that's just me. But it still worked as far as I'm concerned. Minor tidbits, but these issues, the issues that I have with these films are so minor compared to like how actually objectively for what the film is actually decent for what it is. Obviously, the critics went to town on this film, cussing it out. Of course, it's not highbrow entertainment. I expect them to tear this into shreds, but you know, this is a film that I actually enjoyed for what it was. I thought, you know what, like went with low expectations. Very good film. Another thing I didn't like, and I want to mention this very quickly, as I mentioned earlier, I'm friends with Brian F. Collin, and when I spoke to him about the film, he said he was in the film, but they cut out his part and they edited it out. Yeah, he was meant to be in the film, escaping a
Like I think just a cameo.
He was a cameo. Yeah, he was going to be. He was in the film,
they cut him off.
and they just cut it out. Sadly, he said they cut it. I'm like, is it not even on the extended cut of the DVDs? And he's like, I don't think it is. I've never bought the DVD of the film. It's not my kind of thing. But I said, I'm really sorry to hear that. I thought that was a really like. It's like Stan Lee not being in a Spider-Man film. You know, it's like one of those things. Like you created it, like you're the godfather of this film. And I did talk to him about when he designed this film, and obviously we'll talk about that in the connection of the game part as my knowledge from the chat I had with him. But he did have a fun time on set. He did say he enjoyed his time on the set, and he was so flattered and honored that obviously they made a movie of his, based on his creation. Why wouldn't you be? You know, it's a huge honor. You know that you only started off making something as a toy in the arcade. You didn't think it would blow up to be something like a movie many years later, and it had that much critical acclaim. But the original Rampage by Bally Midway was a hit as an arcade game, and again, we'll talk about that later on from what the conversation I had with Brian F. Collin. But yeah, my thoughts. Yeah, I like the film for the most part. Yes, yeah. To conclude, there were some silly bits. But what do you expect of this sort of film? Anyway.
Yeah. Critics were mixed on this, and they did go to town on this. On Tomatoes, it sits at around 51% approval. Audience, though, liked it more than the critics, with a cinema score polls an A- grade. Overall, I think it was pretty good. So, Mark, your thoughts on the movie?
Well, like I've said earlier, I haven't played the game itself. I've seen some gameplay before from YouTube, but as for playing it, I haven't played it. Okay, so ano ba? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so they just eat and wreck the cities and stuff. That's it.
In the game, it's just it's a very simple game. Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Okay. So is it like point type of game or score type of game?
Yes, the more you wreck of the buildings, the higher your score is. The more people you eat, the higher your score gets. And if you take too much damage, then you revert back to being your human self. That's
your naked human self.
Your naked human self. Fine, okay.
Dick hanging.
The clothes on animals are only worn by Looney Tunes characters, okay? So or Disney characters. But yeah, I can imagine. But yes, that's the idea, Mark.
Okay. So, okay, I'll just go back with the movie. The movie itself, I think it was good naman eh. The monsters look great. The CGI, it looks solid. Soldiers trying to fight the giant wolf or the giant alligator. It feels intense. It had that old school disaster energy. Getting absolute cook while everyone is panicking. Honestly, nobody really, for me, this is my opinion only, nobody really fell off from the acting. Then suddenly I noticed, wait a minute, we got Huey from The Boys.
Huey.
And and the director from The Boys.
Yeah.
Right. The blonde girl, you can turn her, you can presume her as like Starlight. At some point, I was like, bro, this is like starting to feel like The Boys fighting giant animals. Then of course we have George the gorilla, probably the most lovable character in the movie, and he carried a lot of emotional and the comedy part as well. You kind of end up rooting for him more than the humans have that. And to be honest, I was kind of siding with the monsters more than the humans.
Why?
Ito kasi,
The humans. Why do you like?
You're really mad.
Because
What did you do that was that bad that you went inside with the monsters? What did they do to you? I don't understand where you got this from. Why do you like the monsters so much?
I'm betting all of my money with the monster. I don't know why. I'm just
Humans
siding
do
with.
terrible stuff to humans.
Well,
Must
we
really
have
hate
that as well.
mankind, you know? It wasn't
Nah.
that bad with humans in this.
Humans can be monsters. Basically, what he was. But basically, what he's saying.
Those monsters were ugly. That wolf was ugly. Ralphie's an ugly, mangy monster. That's a filthy monster. Why would you want?
Ralph is basically like rabies and mange got together.
And then
with
that
growth
crocodile was
hormones,
an ugly
basically.
mutant thing, man. It had this thing where it was sort of like, it had these little webbed
Flap.
things on it. And it had tusks.
It didn't,
Like it was
yeah,
a
I mean, it didn't really look like a wolf. Yeah, half the time.
And it could fly. The wolf could glide. It had some weird mutation. Yeah, and then even the rock was like, of course it could glide.
Maybe just
And that
Of course, a wolf can fly.
38. Right? How can you like it?
it has the quills as well. Maybe because I am just
Of course, the wolf flies.
tired of the people always want that power, money experiments, control, weapons. They suddenly
People that were getting eaten in the streets, man. These people, they had to wipe these abominations out, man. How can you side with the monsters? What's wrong with you? You know? I can't say I was on the side of the monsters. I want to see the people get eaten. Where's your humanity, man? Come on.
I am at the point of I am getting tired of the humanity, so I am siding with the monster.
Fair enough.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I'm at that point right now at my life. So sometimes I'm going a wall with the humans and I'm going with the monsters.
So does Dwayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Mark is just going through a dark patch at the moment. He's just angry of the world. Okay.
As you can see at my post,
bear with our guy.
I'm
Okay.
actually, you know what? If you admit, like, I was upset seeing that Willis Tower get brought down. I've been up that tower twice. I've been to Chicago. I've been up there, so I'm a bit invested. Yeah, Chicago. If I go to America, my family's in Chicago, and I go to the Willis Tower, and then to see these savages, these brutes, go and knock it down. It's just outrageous. Like, it's iconic, but it's an iconic monument. I would say it was the tallest building in the world at one point. And Ferris Bueller had his day off up there.
I think
My
Mark's
question-
point is.
all right,
I think
so,
Mark's
my
point is the
question-
fact that. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, my question, especially with Sir Viraj and Sir Joel, because you guys know the game.
Mm.
Is there any reason why it's they're in Chicago tearing shit up?
Oh no,
It wasn't ever referenced in the game that
No.
they should be in Chicago.
The arcade game premise is basically you're an animal. You pick one of the three. I always pick the George because George is monkeys are more close to human if you believe in evolution and all that. Yeah, so I didn't want to be more human, so I picked the monkey. And all you're doing is smashing the buildings down. Yeah, and you got a set amount of time to do it or whatever you do it. And you don't want to get hit by the humans because there's a military shooting at you and all that. And then you get to another stage which is a bit more difficult, and another stage which is difficult. It's not Chicago; it's just a city. That's all it is. I mean, it might say I can't remember if the Master System version said what city it was when you go to the next one. It tells you something. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played it. But yes, basically, there's a city you go to, you knock it down, and you move to the next city. But I think that it did actually say which US city it was. It is an American city, and it might actually say what cities they are, but I can't remember. There's like X amount of stages in total, and you go through it. You can play 2-player as well, and smash it down in record time. And
They said 100 stages.
Something like
Battle
that.
City.
So yeah, you have a amount of stages you smash through, and that's it. I've only played the Master System port really, but that's the premise of the game. The game premise is more or less the same, and that's all it is. You just smash through buildings, get the high score, get to the next level without taking enough hits or dying, and that was a hit because it was just quite a straight simple premise. And what I remember Brian F. Collins saying to me when he designed the game about how there's two things you have to be mindful of when you're making an arcade game in the 80s, which is first, you've got to look after the operator, and then there's the vendor. Now, the operator is you, so you have to make a game compelling enough for you to want to reach down, get your quarter in, and put it in. And then when you die, you think, okay, I've died. I'll reach down and get another quarter in. So you're not getting not getting any cheap kills or anything. So it's the illusion of giving the user a chance or the operator a chance to think, actually, I can beat this game. I'll get through it, and I'm enjoying it. The vendor doesn't want the game itself being too easy because they want to make the money. Okay.
Well,
So that's why you can understand why arcades love dragons because that game's just a quarter muncher. You just put waters into it, but you're getting all these cheap shots because you're not reacting quick enough. Whereas a game like Rampage is more balanced, and it was a perfect balanced game because you have a shot where you can actually beat the computer, or you can get through it. But at the same time, you will take enough hits and you will reach to get that coin in. And enough people are playing that game; it's still going to make money. There's a number of hits like this, like Street Fighter is another classic one. When Street Fighter 2 came out. Again, quarters were being thrown in because people were having all sorts of tournaments in there. So that was one where, okay, it was fair. You could beat the computer, but the computer could kick your ass as well. But you could play with others. And that was something that was a huge hit because of the way it was designed. So you can make a game that's of a qualitative order that's so good you want to go and play it. But again, it won't just eat your quarters and you'll feel it's fair. And that's the one that will get critically acclaimed and spoken about. Rampage at the time is still a really good game. And it's still an arcade classic by Bally Midway. You know, still regarded as that, even though obviously it's dated now compared to many other arcade games. But yes, it's a game that was successful because it had the perfect balance for the operator and the vendor, and that's basically it. Sorry, we're gone on a tangent, but as a game, you're just smashing up the buildings, get to the next level as quick as possible without taking enough damage and losing lives. That's it.
I think that's a good. I think it's a good segue now to talk about its connection to the game. So like you just said, Raj, I'll kind of reiterate what you just said. Rampage is loosely based on the 1986 Rampage game. In the game, like you said, you control three monsters, George the Gorilla, Lizzie the Lizard, and Ralph the Wolf, who were once humans mutated by experiments. Unlike in the film, it's animals that were just kind of mutated. So that's one difference that you can see in the game. It's humans being mutated. And you can also, like you said, it's a very simple story. All you have to do is just destroy as much things, eat as many people as you possibly can. In my opinion, it's one of the more better like video game reviews, even though it doesn't take too much from the game itself. And I think that's the really good thing about it. I think I'll ask you, Sir Joel. Do you think because the story was so simple, wasn't really overcomplicated, like maybe like say Assassin's Creed, for example?
Because
the story is basically just a very simple. Hell, they didn't even take like in the movie, George is albino. You can see that on the screen.
Yes.
Whereas in the game, he's just a normal gorilla. So they haven't really taken much from the game itself, apart from the story. Which is, again, very simple. Just they've mutated, go destroy. That's it. Apart from that, do you think that has given the movie an advantage? In this?
Yes, it definitely did give the movie an advantage. All right, so the plain and simple fact is there's two things that you can do with a video game property. You take one and you take a video game and you make it so faithful to the video game proper. You make a movie and make it so faithful to the video game proper that you might as well be considering it as an extension of the video game itself. You know, you play the video game and then you watch the movie. You're basically seeing the movie as a rendering of the video game. So that's one approach. The other approach is that you take the elements of the video game that almost have absolutely no plot to it, and you build on it in a respectful manner. This is that second approach. You build on it in a respectful manner so that the kids who were playing that video game, who had no reason to think about the plot, would see the movie and say, that makes sense. That's likely what's happening. This fits into how the video game was created. You know, the video game has nothing there. It's just monsters rampaging throughout a city, bashing down buildings and eating humans. This movie fills in those spaces in a respectful manner. It doesn't contradict the game at all in any form. It builds on what's already there. And the way that this movie was constructed, I do like the fact that it does not contradict anything at all in the video game. It just builds on what the video game was and more. And that's the right way to build a video game movie. Honestly, it's one of the more straightforward and better adaptations of a video game that I can say. And props to whoever did it. Honestly, this is the way to do it.
I mean, look, it's got the three animals in there. You got them eating the people. You got them smashing the buildings.
What do you want?
You got some tanks in there. You got the
Yeah.
military in there, dropping
Mhm.
bombs out them, air helicopters and stuff. You know,
Mhm.
fighter jets. I mean, it's got basically that is basically what the game is. Obviously, there's some
Mhm.
artistic license. The only thing that they
Yes.
didn't do is say that they were mutated humans. You know,
Yeah. Well, that's beside the point, really. It's not really important to the
no,
story.
it isn't.
Actually,
It
yeah.
isn't.
Mhm.
And that actually makes I think that's artistic license that actually works for cinema. I mean, mutated
Precisely.
humans with mutated animals and them splicing genes and making something that could be something that's fantasy and believable. I think more. I don't know, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought I absolutely agree with you, Sir Joel. You know, no disagreement here. I think that it is actually one of the better sort of video game adaptations. Like, how do we make a Rampage film? Well, we can make it's got to be an action film, disaster film, and we'll just write the story around this. This will include these aspects.
One thing that I really like is that they did stay faithful to the fact that there are a lot of helicopters. The video game had a lot of helicopters flying around and hitting you. Yeah, and in this movie, The Rock rode a minimum of 3 choppers. He rode 3 choppers.
He got to the chopper
exactly.
3 times.
And the long was it Longbow? No, the Apache helicopters that initially attacked were basically added more choppers. And for a military hardware kind of guy, I was appreciative of all the military hardware, the B-2 bombers, the A-10 Warthogs, the ATVs. They were great. I loved it. I loved the map. Yeah.
He even used, like, there was one. Yeah, you're right. So there was a chopper there was a medical chopper they got in. There's a chopper that they used to get down the skyscraper.
Yeah,
and then there was a chopper that had already crashed. That was a military one. He got in there. It wasn't even working, but he shot the missiles.
Yeah, that was the Apache. That was a good one. That was a good. Yes.
Chopper or whatever. So obviously there's the amount of plot armor this man has to survive. You know, it's ridiculous. Like, even when the plane was when George broke out the plane and then there was an issue and it was crashing, the G-force would have killed them alone. He's like, he had all the time to save Negan as well. Negan is like, I'm gonna call him Negan. I don't care.
Yeah. I think that's his regular name now.
He's like, Dan, why did you save? And he's like, oh, us assholes have to stick together. Like, what is this? Like, I want to be friends now.
When did the movie come out?
2018.
2018. And the fact that he said "you're welcome" to Negan was a little nod to his role as
Walking Dead.
Maui in what this movie
Moana.
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 There you go. A little nod. I like that. I like the fact that it's obvious that they had fun with the roles. It's obvious that they had fun with the movie. The critics have absolutely no idea what they're talking about by panning this, because of the fact that we're talking about summer blockbusters that people do not want to think too hard on. If you want to think about really hard stuff, go watch the I forgot the one with the top with Leonardo DiCaprio and the top the
Inception.
If you wanted to really think, you watch Inception. If you want to turn off your brain and enjoy action, you watch Rampage. There's different audiences, and critics have
films are obviously going to be thought-provoking, whereas something like this, it's just turn your brain off and enjoy it for what it is.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what it is. I mean, you have to laugh at some of the things in this film, though. Like, just literally how many times, Jesus, like Negan should have died a million times as well. It's like, hey, well, like when he got him out the aircraft and he wakes up, like, and he's on the parachute and he goes, and then he all 3 of them managed to miraculously survive that plane that would have crashed.
What a scene!
Like,
What a scene!
Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining to watch because, like, this guy should have died.
It's you just watch it, enjoy it, see stuff blow up. It's kind of like watching John Wick. It's impossible for somebody like John Wick to actually exist, no matter how well trained you are, no matter how no matter how good you are with hand-to-hand combat or whatever, you will get hit by a stray bullet in the head, no matter with the amount of bullets that are flying. But you accept it as a premise. One thing is, you accept it as a premise that this John Wick is indestructible to a point. And with Rampage, you accept that the main character is working on video game logic. Technically speaking, he is working off of multiple
He has 3 lives.
Yes, exactly. That's it. There you go. Shaw's face is level. There you go.
The Rock doesn't look like to look, and I'll say this: in all the Rock films, He doesn't want to look weak. He doesn't want to look like a
Mm.
weakling. He wants to be a stud. Like when that chick, she got all horny at the start. When all of them were together, that chick got horny over him, but didn't give Dennis Quaid a look in. Didn't give the other guy a look in, but she wanted The Rock in it. And The Rock was like, nah, proper Sigma male energy, like in the car. No, I'm not, you know me, I don't need this shit. I only
Well,
care about animals.
To be fair,
Yeah.
it's because of the fact that probably that's what the casting director wanted. They wanted a mountain of a man that's indestructible, takes a lot of damage, and is charismatic. During that
Yeah,
time,
and
The
the
Rock
women
was-
like him.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
that's the
Yes, exactly. And The Rock basically embodied that during that era. Not so
Yeah.
much now anymore. I'm not quite sure who's going to be the replacement for him, but during that era, he was everywhere as
Yeah.
the alpha male archetype, and his wisecracking buddy.
Kevin
Kevin
Hart.
Hart, yes,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Kevin Hart.
the funny sidekick, which is classic cinema. There is that one heroic guy always, and there is one wisecracking sidekick. It's classic cinema. It's something that works well,
funny.
and it will
Yeah.
always appear. That's what he was during that era. Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, very nice. So, Joe, you've heard all the panelists share their thoughts. Please, want to hear your thoughts and reactions.
Oh god, there we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is just me. All right. So now here's what everybody is talking about with this. Okay, and you're not going to go to many articles or reviews where people are saying, "Does this break the video game curse?" And I'm going to tell you something. No, not really. I mean, maybe for some people
What do you
out
mean by
there,
video
sure.
game curse? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate what you mean by video game curse?
Yes,
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, the video game curse, right? So out of all of the video game adaptations that we have so far, ever since all the way back to Double Dragon and Super Mario Brothers, like do we have anything that can we say definitively like the perfect video game adaptation? And a lot of people will say it's still Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Yeah,
And-
the new one. Yeah.
No. The original one.
one.
Annihilation.
Original one.
That
Okay.
original shit. That's shit. But go on.
No, the
Here we
original
go.
one. You know,
All the 1990 video game movies were shit.
No,
Alright,
the original one. That one was the definitive adaptation of a video game.
You know what? I
movie.
think we have to
Mhm.
get to the point here where we have to say, is it a good movie or a bad movie? That's basically it.
Okay.
Well,
Is it a film that
there's,
people
two,
enjoy?
there's two discussions there. It's either going to be a good video game movie or a good movie proper. There's
Yeah.
a very big distinction there.
I think
But anyway,
difference
continue,
there.
Joe.
To be fair to the
Uh,
first Mortal Kombat film, it's a good video game movie. I
Mhm.
think it's to be
With-
fair, it is a good video game movie, even though it hasn't aged that well. It is a good video game movie, and I think when you say video game movies are cursed, that's what you're saying. The curse of video game movies. I think the issue is movies. What a lot of people look at video game adaptations, and when movie studios go to or when game studios sell their IP or movie studios bid for an IP and think, okay, we want to sell this script or we want to make a movie out of Mario and all that. You know, I think there is they want to make some money. It's a business, right? And sometimes it's a case of, you know what, this is a video game IP. The fans of the video games will go out and see this film and enjoy it. So Mario Brothers, yeah, of course, who's not going to go and see a Mario Brothers movie? And that film, even though it was crap, the first one with Bob Hoskins, people went to see that piece of shit film. You know, that's the truth. And that's how they're trying to make some money out of it. Rampage, at the time it's come out 2018, it's still a relatively dated arcade game. Like, who remembers Rampage? Even the key audience for Rampage going to go and see it? I remember it. You remember it. But was it the most popular arcade game in 1986? No, Outrun was. But it was still a big game. You know, I thought the game was even older than 86, you know, because the graphics look quite primitive even for 86 as an arcade game. I thought it was an 83 game. But the fact of the matter is it was a solid arcade game. In the end, it's The Rock that sold this film. That's what you're buying. You're buying a film with The Rock in it, and you had a decent casting in it and an interesting story. It just coincidentally had to be based on a video game called Rampage as well. And
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
so that
let's
is
have-
all right. So that is his opinion right there, guys.
But yes, let's have Joe
in this
continue
movie-
his analysis. Go ahead.
In this movie, what I'm
Yeah.
talking about here, right? I just don't see it. I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing, because while it does not necessarily live up to breaking the video game curse, so to speak, I will say that it definitely lived up to its name. The
Mhm.
name of the movie, Rampage, and that's what they did. They rampaged the fuck out of things in this movie, right? So cities, forests, zoos, buses, cars,
Yeah,
rock
but it's
quarries
still not
for some
Earth.
reason, swamps, you name it.
Space, even
right?
the space station. Anyway, the
I mean,
first
space
rat
station
monster.
get
Yeah.
rampage,
Yeah,
right?
there's a
Oh,
Rampage at space station. Yeah.
oh, and just a little bit of a factoid: the rat that they were experimenting on, uh, that's Larry. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
fourth. That's the fourth
Fourth.
monster character, which
Network.
was an exclusive for the Atari Lynx. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
play the Rampage video game on the Atari Lynx,
Never played the
they
Atari
created
Lynx.
a fourth character, fourth playable character, Larry the Rat. So
Mm.
Larry, so that's a nod, basically an Easter egg, really.
Nice.
Larry was shown during the space station. So he was the one who rampaged or killed everyone in that
Mm.
space station over there.
Mhm.
Um,
But it still breaks the curse, though. I would say this is still not a bad video
Uh,
game movie. It's not a bad
the
movie.
funny thing is that I mean, maybe it doesn't break the video game curse per se, but it is the video. It is the first video game movie in a long time to actually live up to its name, right? So there's no false advertisement here at all. Here at all. With Mortal Kombat, it was about people beating the fuck out of each other, right? And this movie is about animals beating the fuck out of everything, especially tearing down buildings, right? Because, yeah, that's the whole premise of the game itself, tearing up buildings, right? You get some of that. You get some sappy dialogue here and there. You get some cheesy emotion going on, and then
You get the monkey doing this to you.
Yes,
know,
there's that. Yeah. Yes, there's that.
flipping the bird.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I mean,
That's true.
what funny was when I think I heard one of these excerpt about regarding this movie. So they showed the premise to the director, right? Brad Payton, was it?
Yes.
And they said, okay, so the movie is just going to be based from the video game, where three people mutated into a gorilla, a giant lizard, and
a wolf.
a wolf, right? And the director said, you know what? That's too silly. Because, I mean, out of all of the things that we saw, out of all the ideas that he pulled off in this movie, humans turning into monsters, yeah, that's too much. I mean, space station blowing up, monsters growing, actual animals growing so large, tearing each other, and even the Rock. No selling physics, no selling death at all. Yeah, out of all of that bullshit, humans turning into monsters. Yeah, that's too much.
That's the bridge too far.
That's the line right there.
So if I've got to be a human, say if they had to hire a human that would then turn into a damn dirty ape, that could happen. You know, they could have cast
Actually, you know
Rock's
what?
friend. But that would
Okay,
have been
here's
racist
the thing.
for him to do it anyway.
When the news broke that there's going to be like a Rampage video game a movie, right, based on a video game, and the Rock was announced to be one of the characters. I'm like, are they making the Rock like turn into a monster? I mean, is the Rock going to be the gorilla here? Is the Rock?
Well, he basically is already a gorilla. Anyway.
Might as well be a sliceless, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, looking at everybody else in the zoo, or the animal conservatories, the conservation place that they were in, right, in San Diego, California, San Diego, and they're like, the Rock is pretty much hulking everyone. So he's so large, and then you'll expect us to believe that he is this primatologist, so basically a scientist studying primates, right? So he's technically a scientist in his own right. And out of everybody else who is so nerdy, so pasty, and he's the only guy who looks like that, but he's a scientist, thinking about the primates. And the only one who only matches him in size is George.
Right. Whoa. Come on, man. Like, you know, scientists can look like that. Let's not be so.
No.
Have you seen any scientists look like that? Come on,
No. That's a bridge too far. There you go. For
Why are
me.
you
Yeah.
saying that?
No, that's silly too. Okay, there's another line we won't cross. Okay, scientists looking so jacked.
Are you
No.
trying to say that guy who looks like that. There's no way in hell going to be a scientist
Now,
because he's so bad.
the one role that I would say really fits Dwayne Johnson in his bulk and his being the way he is in Central Intelligence, where he was
Oh
this
yeah,
really fat dude who got bullied so
Right.
bad in high school
yeah,
that he
yeah,
he worked out so hard to become this jacked up dude
yeah.
when later on in life, but he's still the same guy inside. He was still this very same nerdy, geeky kind of guy inside. That is something that fits him as a role because of the fact that that was funny. It made
And
sense
it's
that
believable. It's believable.
exactly they got so bullied that he worked out so hard that he
Well,
became this gigantic bulk of a man.
he's.
But
I
yeah.
mean, to be honest with The Rock, he's not like the
Mhm.
science behind The Rock's character or what he studied. He's not a doctor or anything.
Mhm.
He's not like that clever. He's just all he knows what to do is to sign language to an ape. That's it.
Mhm.
And he cares about animals. He's just an animal lover. That's all that is. I don't really think it's that technical what he's
No, he's
doing.
a private. The movie said he's a primatologist, and you need to
Okay.
study a few years just to get that degree. Okay.
True. Yeah, you have to have
When you read this, man, this is America. They don't know nothing. They're all dumb there anyway. They just
yeah, whatever.
anyone a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
we'll
what
just
it is.
pull out our all our medicine and funding from your
That's
European
fine.
trash
What?
country,
And,
and
what? He got his degree from what?
We
From Phoenix
created the
University.
cure for the
Okay.
corona, man, with AstraZeneca. We got the cure first, not before you,
yeah,
man.
and you wouldn't have been able to do that without our funding. But screw you.
Bullshit.
Okay, anyway,
We got
yeah.
tax
But
dollars,
in any
man.
case, getting back though, the
These
fact that
Americans don't have nothing. They got no
but
brains
the fact
anyway.
that he a simple fact he got cast in this role because he was hot during the time. Yes, and they knew, like Viraj said, that he was going to sell the movie. Now, this is my premise on this. There is no chance that the video game curse will ever be broken because of the fact that Hollywood wants to directly control the video game market, and they will never be able to do that because of the fact that gamers have one thing that Hollywood audiences do not have: agency. Hollywood movie watchers only sit and passively watch a movie and do not participate. A video gamer plays and participates directly in his medium in a video game. That's the reason why Hollywood is absolutely angry with the video game market because they can't control them. Gamers control their own actions, and whereas Hollywood audiences do not, and they hate that. The gamers can freely choose what they want to watch and not watch, and that's the reason why the so-called video game curse will never be broken, because there will almost never be a perfect video game a movie translation, because the one thing that's missing, agency, will never be there. So that's
Yeah,
that's my premise. Yeah.
that's fair. That's a fair point. I think
Hmm.
with The Rock, though, yeah, you're right. Like I said, he was the star, and that's
Hmm.
and even now he's still a big star.
Yeah.
You know, I've just looked at his IMDb. He's got like 3 films he's going to be in this year, and they're all AAA titles. You know,
Oh.
he's going to be
Mm.
in Moana, obviously. He's going to be in New Jumanji, which is a huge franchise on him, and he's going to be in the new Fast and Furious movie. You know, so. But it's just ridiculous how much money he pulls in, and a lot of people go into to see these films. And then again, with The Rock, he's not a highbrow actor. You're not going to go and think some deep philosophy. It's just fun. You just go in there for action. And if you like if you like a good action film, that's why you watch it. I think obviously him being a paleontologist or whatever it is that he was, a monkey, was it primatologist? It's like whatever, man. It's just something. It's just, who cares? No one cares that much about that aspect of the film. He's just a zookeeper. Nobody cares about that little detail. That's not even something I think about to criticize his character. Like, he cares about monkeys, or apes, as somebody said. Monkeys are not apes. Apes. You know, who cares? Like, he cares about apes. He wants to look after this albino. He loves him. He rescued him. He rescued him. Who cares about him?
I completely agree with Reiki on this one. Hollywood writers don't respect the video game role. They always take creative liberties that is way off from the video game story. And this is one of the few times, Reiki, that actually they were able to restrain themselves from taking away too much from the original roles, because they're monsters. They're monsters. And let's put it this way: if you were to make a video game protagonist a guy, I'm a regular Joe, regular dude, and I wanted to be somebody, a persona inside of a movie, there's no other persona that's better to be than The Rock. Let's just say that you wanted to be this jacked up muscular dude who's super buff and compassionate and is indestructible and is pined over by the ladies, but you can just say, nah, I'm concentrating on my goal. So yeah, that is the ideal video game protagonist inside of a movie. So yeah, basically he's the video game guy, shall we say, in this
Can I
video game movie.
also just say there's a fun fact that I just read. When he was signing to Pablo, so the first act that you see when you get introduced, when they're walking through and you see Pablo and he's kind of yelling, when he's signing, it's me. He says, "It's me, The Rock." So that's kind of a nod to his WWE persona, The Rock. He doesn't.
Oh.
So he does that. And but to your point also, so Joel, 2018 was a huge year for The Rock. So in 2017, he was in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, so the first movie of Jumanji. And then came Rampage and then Skyscraper. So 3 movies in a row, he was doing helicopter scenes. There you go. But I have a question to ask, I guess, you guys. Do you think if you take away The Rock, let's say you put someone else, I don't know, just as for example, David Bautista or Chris Hemsworth or even Jason Statham, another bold guy, do you think this movie would be just as successful?
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's all
Jason
yes
Statham.
for me.
Really?
Depends on the writing.
Depends on the writing. Yeah.
Could be anyone. It could be
Jason
Dave
Statham,
Bautista,
he's another
Chris
one who acts
Hemsworth.
himself. Jason Statham is another one who just plays himself. Okay. Chris Hemsworth has a bit of range, and he's a good-looking guy, and the women like him. So maybe with him, yes, he's Thor for crying out loud. So I think he could do it. What other actor are we talking about?
Let's take away those guys. Let's make the Huey guy, the guy from the Boys, who
Quaid.
let's see if it was him in the role with better writing. Do you think it would have been successful?
Nah.
Nah.
I don't think, because the film is marketed as a film where you sort of turn your brain off anyway. You're just looking at the action sequences. And if you think The Rock, it's hard to believe that Rock can take a bullet to his gut. You think Huey could?
No, definitely not.
He's dead.
Hey, The Rock took a bullet.
Man.
The Rock took a bullet to his ass in Central Intelligence, and he was fine.
The Rock is built like a tank. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
man. He's built like a brick shit house, man. No one's gonna mess with him, man. He's built. But I want to talk about the villain in the film, the chick.
Malin Ackerman.
Yeah, I didn't know like they were brother and sister, man. I thought like, why is she touching his hair at the start? What is this? There's some sort of inappropriate relationship going on here, between
maybe there's that
subtext.
subtext.
Like,
Maybe there is that
Morgan
subtext.
scandal. What's going on?
I mean, 2018,
like Game
there
of
were
Thrones.
still Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Game of Thrones,
What's going on? Is there some incestuous relationship here? What's going on?
But
she was a
I
bitch,
remember
so
her
she-
mostly from
They were rich.
The Watchmen.
They could get
Yeah.
away with it.
I remember her from The
Milk
Watchmen.
Spectre.
She's in Watchmen as Miss Jupiter, but she was a bitch, man. She was a horrible person. Very
Oh,
evil
and
woman.
was she in Troy? I could be wrong on that one.
No, that's Diane Kruger.
Oh, sorry. I mixed those two up. Yeah, sometimes
Diane Kruger is very attractive in that film.
the same
You know
way I
what,
mix up
actually,
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
With that actress, I mean, she played the villainous role
Very well.
convincingly good
Mhm.
for me, anyway. And one of the memorable scenes in the movie, because out of all of everyone that George took out, she's the only one who really got in, who really got eaten by George straight up. Oh shit! Like
Well,
that.
I found that scene to be quite interesting. Like when she got taken out, it's like it was so like how did she like? It's like she got pushed against the thing, and then George was it's like saying they knew George was going to eat him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. That's another ridiculous plot point.
Well,
But what is
it's
that?
part of the video game. George eats people.
He does. That's
Mhm.
fine. I'm happy with
Yeah.
her getting eaten like a bitch. Yeah, but what I'm just a bit confused about is like, they fed George the woman. And
Mm.
It's like, come on, George
How-
could
yeah,
eat any three of them.
In his
Why
defense,
put her
how would
at
you
that
know
point?
George would? How would everybody know that George will eat the lady rather than
They could
just
have eaten the
George,
other two.
crushing her or just throwing her
Yeah,
out of
or
the
throwing
building.
her out of the
No,
way. Yeah, that's true.
uh,
Yeah.
Naomi Watts, who I keep saying she looks like Ashanti. Naomi Watts just assumed
Money penny.
that George will eat her ass right then and there. Like,
Well,
girl, I mean, how do you
phrasing,
know that he eat
phrasing.
her,
Okay,
right?
anyway,
Naomi
phrasing
Watts
for that
is
one.
kind of skinny,
Anyway,
man. There's not much meat. If George is going to eat anyone, it'll be The Rock, man. Look at him. That's his protein. I don't understand why she ate the women. He went and he ate the bad girl.
I'm
I'm
getting sick and tired of you.
The most meat, you eat The Rock.
well, to Joe's point, it is very fair. She played the villainess very convincingly,
Yeah, she
extremely well. She was the one who didn't hesitate to just take the gun from her brother and shoot the Rock in
Bang.
the gut. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Yeah,
That's how villains should be. A lot of them like to play with their food. But no,
exactly.
no, no.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mhm.
That's it.
I mean, one complaint would be, I mean, there's a lot of surface area on the Rock's body. Out of all the places you can shot,
How can you
go for
miss?
the gut? I mean, his chest is like right here.
No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Girl,
why. Yeah.
out of all the
Yeah,
places
but-
that you can shot the Rock,
She had dainty hands, so she's got the gun. The gun was angled downwards because the hand was just too limp to
Yeah.
hold it. So
I mean,
she got downwards, didn't
I mean,
it?
if she really wanted the Rock dead right then and there, just shoot the guy. Shoot him in the head. Shoot him
Yeah, and
shoot him in the chest. The hell?
Double tap.
Right. She's an
Mhm.
idiot.
Double
That's
tap.
why.
Right?
Yeah.
She's not that clever. Maybe she wanted him to suffer or whatever. I don't know. But her brother was an idiot as well. He's a bimbo, man, and a weakling. He deserved to die the way he did at the end when Jeffrey D. Morgan was like, "I'll just take this. I'll take this."
Yeah.
You go.
I remember
And then
that.
he goes,
How about
"Right."
you, sir? How about you, Sir Marky Mark? What can you say about the other characters?
Okay lang, but it's for me kasi it's always The Rock. Eh. Personally, I'm tired of seeing The Rock. All the movies that we have, he's like basically the Hollywood version of Johnny Sin. So sobrang dami niyang ginanapan na roles. So he became Jungle Explorer, zoologist, whatever his role at secret agent, firefighter, rescue
Of
guy.
all people to pull
I don't
out.
understand why he's on the side of the monsters. Now I get it. He hates The Rock. He's sick and tired of seeing him in all these roles. He wanted the monsters to eat The Rock. I understand.
I was saying, of all the people to pull out as an example, it has to be Johnny Sins. Come on.
Well, he's been a plumber, he's been an engineer, he's been a doctor.
You know what? He really does look like him. I mean,
What?
I mean, hey, let's be real. I mean, if Hollywood, if he fails in Hollywood, he fails in wrestling. Most likely, he'll end up in porn.
He'll never do that. He's got too much money. You don't need to do that. You don't need to stoop those levels.
No. What I'm saying is, if everything else failed,
If everything had failed,
Well, you
yeah.
never know, but
he would have
maybe.
just went straight to
Come
porn.
on, he's going to be a wrestler. Come on. His dad was going to be a wrestler.
So Mark's point is that because of the fact that The Rock is so magnetic, visually, he can't see anybody else in the movie except for him, because usually the movie is focused on him anyway. When the camera is there, it's kind of focused on him. Everything else is extraneous. So yeah, he makes a good point.
Let's be honest with ourselves here, because this is something that I was a big fan of action movies in the 80s and 90s, and back in those days, these action stars had to work out, and you had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and you had Dolph Lundgren, and you had Van Damme. I'm not going to mention Steven Seagal because we all know he's a pussy. So you had all these big people there that were really working out, really doing their best, and that's the only way. There was no CGI where you could get muscles on people and suits and stuff like that. And obviously, The Rock is like an incarnation of that 1980s action star. He actually had muscles, and he came from wrestling. So he's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of today. That's the truth.
Can I just say,
box office.
If we had a younger Arnie, he could have played the role, because it would have been so good to hear 3 times, "Get to the chopper."
Yeah, that would have made sense. Yeah, very true. Yeah, that would have made sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And The Rock is actually good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. I've seen them do interviews together, and The Rock came down to WWE. I remember that one time. But yeah, like he's not just Schwarzenegger. Stallone could have done this film as well. You know, he could have been in the actor, because you think he's a muscle man. He's this guy could be in the military. You know, if you've done like he did Rambo, for crying out loud. So you can sort of see those actors do this sort of beefy role,
Mhm.
Could I hang back? Could Vin Diesel do this role?
Well, he's bald, so
He
he
could have.
yes.
He could have done it. So another one, but he's fat now. He's let himself go. If you see the picture, he has let himself go. Like bless him. Like he's just let himself go. I don't know. Maybe in 2018 he was in good shape, but you know, like again, The Rock was the biggest star, and he still is a bigger star. Like he brings in people to see him because he's such a compelling person to see. It's his personality that people are drawn to.
I just want to read out Koya Reikyu's comment. He says, The Rock can't die. It's in his contract. So that's why when he gets shot, he's still able to move on.
He takes himself. He's quite a serious actor, though. He's serious when he's very professional on set. Because I've seen other actors talk about The Rock. He's very professional and very serious when he goes to work. So
if you want to see him do a really good role, watch The Smashing Machine. It's a bit more.
I haven't seen that one. Okay.
It's a bit more. He still plays a big character, but it's a bit more.
Come think of it.
He has a little bit more. He has a little bit more range in there. He was playing a little bit more out of the usual.
Correct.
Rockisms.
Yeah.
I mean,
because okay, so to Sir Mark's point, The Rock, as we know him, we have all just everyone just accepted him as just not even a human being anymore in regard to these movies, right? He gets side by side with this giant gorilla and goes up against a giant wolf and an alligator. I mean, like some kind of mutated WrestleMania all of a sudden, and right. So let's not forget that just right before that, he got so like we said earlier, he got shot, right? Oh yeah, he goes down and later pops up like, oh, it didn't really hit anything vital, so I'm still good. Climb on top of that rooftop of that building like nothing happened at all. So he's pretty much bulletproof, right? And and let's not forget, he also got shot on the plane originally with Negan and Naomi Watts, and while George was still in the cage there. Yeah, he got shot there. He got shot, I think, 3 times the back, but no, he's pretty much okay. And let's not forget about the leading man himself, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sir JDM.
Well. I have to fix my camera. Okay, just being in character here.
Yeah.
Let's lean the camera right over. He's like he's the only actor that I know that needs a kickstand all of a sudden. So he's talking like this. Well.
He's got this way about him.
I never saw to the point of The Walking Dead where he was there, but did he have a Western accent there? No.
He's the same character as he is now.
He did. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
He was just missing his baseball bat, I think, in there.
Yeah, I mean, they took his baseball bat and just gave him a tablet.
Yeah,
a suit.
In a suit, and that's basically that. Yeah, that's basically
a Colt 45 and his hip. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Understood.
I also found amusing about his character, and this is again like to do with how silly the plot is. Like when they like broke out of the custody, and then they and they're trying to find the helicopter, and he catches them. And he lets them go. He gives them the keys and go get going or something. Like, come on, man! Like, he's meant to be a U.S. man of not federal, he isn't FBI. He's the other bureau or
OGA, other government agency. Yeah,
that's it. And like, come on, man! Like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, most of these people are authoritarian. What I also found interesting is how he was taunting the colonel, whatever his name is, the general, whatever, who had basically authorized the Moabs to be used, the mother of all bombs, and he's like saying, these guys could sort it out, but you're going to drop the mother of all bombs and destroy half of Chicago, and let them do it. And it was that was really interesting, the little dialogue between the two, and he said, "You're dismissed. That's one order that I will carry out."
That being said, I mean, out of all of the disrespectful ways that he could have talked to the general, he's still doing like this.
Well, probably
finally an order that we can agree with. I'm gonna show my
probably because the general also knew that his JDM, for lack of a better word, Negan, has a high enough rank in the government that he's basically on the same level as he is, probably. So yeah, maybe there's something in there that they know among themselves. within the government. Okay, I know this guy is not military, but he's high enough rank in the government that he can do something to me on a professional and personal level that I have to
Yeah.
not piss him off. That's sometimes how
Yeah,
it
well,
happens.
but
Yeah.
he's still talking to you like this, Sir
Well,
Joel.
yeah.
It's an affliction, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
affliction, you know. He's got his
It's like
mannerisms.
he's
You know
all
what I
over
mean?
like this.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Well, what you doing? And he's like laughing. He's got his grin. He's got that cheeky grin. Oh yeah. He's got his way he looks, guys light up. He's crazy. He's a psycho. You don't want to mess with this guy. He's a crazy
But,
man.
I mean, what's funny was like, so the director was there, the cameraman was there, and nobody told this motherfucker to stop doing that. Like, dude, stand up straight, just do your lines. Why do you keep leaning like that?
Well,
Like
that's
all of
his
his
character.
dialogue throughout this movie is always leaning like this.
It's probably director's
man.
call. The director's call says, "Hey, I like what he's doing. Go for it." You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, you say
Yeah.
what you like, Sir Joe, but he's entertaining. And that's
Yeah,
one thing I'll say about all
yeah,
these actors.
yeah.
I'll say about Naomi Harris. I'll say about The Rock. I'll say about Jeff D. Morgan.
Yeah.
I'll say about Jack Quaid. All of these characters who are in this film, all these actors in this film were entertaining. They did the
Yes.
roles, they did their job, and they did their good job, and you could follow the story. And they were fun to watch.
There's something about an actor that might not necessarily be the most handsome person you see on screen,
Yeah.
but there's something about an X factor in them that draws your eyes to them,
That's
that
correct.
that you
I agree.
want to watch them do what they do.
That's
Case
correct.
in point, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Case in
Yeah.
point, The Rock. Case in point, I don't know, somebody like Rene Requestas, somebody that you know that you don't know, Raj. But yes, but the fact is, there are some people like that. They have that X factor that no matter what they do, you will want to watch them do what they
And
do.
they'll bring the crowds in. This is
Robert
the-
Downey Jr.
I want to see The Rock. I want to
Sorry,
see this
who?
guy.
RDJ.
Oh, he's in this.
RDJ.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Yes, there's
Yeah.
also that. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's
You know,
not been in many films apart from Iron
Yeah,
Man.
but you know, he's not super. I mean, he's attractive enough, but he's not like one of those guys like Matt Bomer or something like that, who's super attractive. But
Mm.
yeah, he does have the charisma to pull people in, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Mhm.
That's
That's all.
But yeah, there's some very interesting characters or actors in this film,
Mhm.
and the fact of the matter is, I enjoyed it because they had quite compelling performances, even though they were overacting or whatever, because they were just fun to watch. And this is what it is. You're not looking at some sort of, they're not looking for Academy Awards here. They're looking for just like, is it got an entertainment factor? Yes, it does. And this film does what it says in the tin. It's just their Rampage. It's it's a disaster movie. There to see the entertainment.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder as Les Grossman.
Yeah,
I did
despite
not realize it was him.
Exactly. Despite
The
all of
makeup
his
was
makeup,
the makeup was flawless. I didn't realize it was him until the
absolutely.
credits
Despite
rolled in.
everything, you couldn't take your eyes off of him. Who's the guy?
I will fucking annihilate
Yes,
you.
who's the guy boy? Come on over to him and punch him in the face. It was just funny. He's
the bit where he does the dancing and he's
exactly.
All right. So we've already talked about The Rock and the leading man Jeffrey Dean Morgan here. Let's talk about the actual main characters of the show, which the monsters. So Mark, what can you say about the monsters? Go.
You love them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
because you sided with the monsters, remember? So anything about the monsters, like I mean their design and how the movie portrayed them as.
It's all good. I mean, the CGI are well nice and everything else is nice, but like what you guys said earlier, the science, the names of the monsters are what they are humans before, then they transformed. The names are
in the game, yes.
the names are lame.
Well,
I find the
all
name lame.
references. They're all references to previous characters. George is Curious George, the monkey, right?
Right.
Lizzie is a lizard. Basically same,
Godzilla,
just a lizard.
Lizzie
And
the lizard.
Ralph is Ralph Wolf from Looney Tunes. For those of you who are not familiar, Ralph Wolf is basically the same look as Wile E. Coyote, but as a wolf.
He's the one with
Wile E.
the
Coyote is a
red
coyote.
nose.
Yes, exactly, with the red nose. So those are references to previous characters, and they were actually named that in the arcade video game. That was their actual names. Yeah.
I want
I
to
don't know
ask.
how Brian F. Collin came up with them, but that's what he named them. Yes, RV, you were saying.
I just want to ask, so Mark, as our resident art designer here, I have a
Mhm.
fact for you here. Like George was originally intended to be like an original gorilla, like Brown, until the
Brown.
filmmakers and the creature designers made the decision to make him an albino gorilla due to the fact that it would allow him, or it would allow the damage done to him be more visible and make him stand out, and not just like another King Kong ripoff. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's why the original George was what was
Brown.
like
Brown.
brown.
In the game,
Yeah.
yes.
So basically, the Deadpool mantra here, so that they can see him bleed,
Mm.
they had to
Yeah.
make him white.
No, they're just racist. They didn't want no brown brothers. They're racist against the brown brothers. That's what this was. Yeah, they get a white man, a white monkey role. Proper racism, man. There's not enough.
Wait,
Brown, there's not enough brown roles, It's like it's a CGI ape.
But
I don't know why
from
they made it white.
They
From a
even
design
whitewashed the gorilla. Okay.
from a
Well,
design
you-
perspective, though, Mark,
typical
do you think it
Hollywood.
makes sense?
All right.
At the time,
From a
though,
design
they're
perspective,
blackwashing a
visually
lot of characters,
speaking,
like-
do you think it makes sense?
Actually, it's a video game adaptation of what? But yeah, I mean, Ralph has these quills at his back. And like
Yeah.
that's is it from the original game as well?
No,
No.
that was just added to it. No, even the
It's
wings,
it's
the
genetic
flies, that's added.
editing.
Yeah,
It's the pseudoscience that they introduced. Like they think
I
it's
like
real.
you like
It's
it.
okay.
There you go. That's it. All right, and those are just additions that do make sense in the movie as opposed to the video game. The video game doesn't have the quills that Ralph had. The video game doesn't have the flying wings that Ralph had, but it did make sense in the movie, and it does not contradict anything in the video game, because just because the video game didn't have them doesn't mean that the video game cannot have had them because of the fact that you were genetically edited. Sure, yeah, it doesn't show up in the video game, but it does make sense. Yes. And visually speaking, it was a good call. The fact that that George was an albino, because it would differentiate him from the other gorillas that
the other
The
gorilla.
Rock was working
True.
with
Good point there. Yeah.
in the what do you call this, in the conservatory. So yeah.
The other apes. Yeah. Well,
One last-
George. Yeah.
Yes,
Go
no,
sorry.
sorry. No, I was just going to say, no, you go first, Joe. Sorry.
Well, with George, first of all, I think, like Sir Marky Mark mentioned, it's so he's it's a very amazing special effect what they did.
Sure.
And I mean, say what you will about the other special effects that they had in this movie, they really got the apes down. I mean, these Warner Brothers, right? And with apes, must be an easiest thing to CGI because they do a phenomenal job, and most likely they did the because everything else, like even the other monsters, were just purely CGI. And The Rock having that relationship with George, you really felt it, and you really felt the connection there, especially when they introduced the backstory of how they first met, right? And well, when George started to change and all that, so he was tearing things up, and he's just not a monster that's being destructive. They made George actually something you could have sympathy for because of the sign language that he was doing. He's an orphan. He has no one else but The Rock taking care of him, right? And they really made this disappearance of George visibly looking upset. He's really scared about what's happening with him, what's happening with everybody, with everything else around him. And yeah, he was afraid, don't know what to do, and he had no one else to rely on except for The Rock, and you don't know if he can actually pull this off, right? So all of that assumptions, yeah. So all of that assumptions going on in the movie, and with The Rock saying, "Okay, I could care less about I could care less about Ralph, I could care less about Lizzie. All I care about is saving George." You know what? Because I remember when they were in the plane, he was ready to trank George, but he hesitated a little bit. Then so yeah, I mean there were times when even The Rock was like, okay, in order to save my friend, I have to do the right thing. And by the end of the movie, it's like when we have that false that false death scene.
Yeah,
Am I
like
going to?
that.
Are we going to spoil that now? When we had that, yeah, when we had that false death scene, I'm like, oh shit, they really,
That was funny though.
George actually, and I'm like, hang on, I mean, how can he die? Because as far as we know, he can regenerate, right? And sure enough, he was just faking it. But and as far as like with Ralph and Lizzie, to my knowledge, and maybe I just missed it, they didn't reference Lizzie as Lizzie
No.
because
No.
because Lizzie, because the mutated alligator just showed up like during the
Mhm.
third half. I mean the third half. During the third scene
Mhm.
or the third act of the movie. But
Mhm.
Ralph, if you don't like, if you're the casual moviegoer here and you don't know anything about the games, oh, the people in the internet just calls him Ralph.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, how did the people in the internet just collectively just calls him
Well,
Ralph? And
it's like with what Sir Joel said about how Ralph Coyote. It's like this. They thought, okay, we just
like out of all the names, just something random. I don't know, Ralph.
Yeah,
well,
because
also Wreck
yeah.
It Ralph. He
Mhm.
wrecked the building. I'm gonna wreck it.
Because of the
Ralph.
because of the fact that the internet is the collective consciousness of humanity right now, and they something as obscure as Ralph the Wolf will show up in the most random moments. So yeah, I completely
Yeah.
believe that. Mhm.
The internet make up some silly things like
Yeah.
sixes and sevens and things like that
Yeah,
they're going on.
exactly.
Like, that
Yes,
makes no
agreed.
sense at all to anyone else. But they're like,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yes,
It's silly.
true, true, true,
But,
true.
it makes
Oh,
no
Yeah.
sense.
and them saying, oh, these monsters are approaching Chicago. You need to evacuate Chicago in
Mhm.
less than 30 minutes.
Oh God.
It's
Mhm.
not gonna
Like,
happen.
okay,
These
so
That's kind
the
of like
mo
saying
so
Manila
okay,
should be cleared out in an hour. That's impossible.
I
No.
think it's possible. I
right?
think the Lillans, yeah, they're serious. They'll get the F out of there, man. I think
Which
I
one?
think they're
In
more disciplined
Chicago,
I think they'd be more disciplined in Manila than they would be in Chicago because
In
Americans.
Manila? No, you're
no.
sorely underestimating
Are they saying
Manila.
that
Yeah.
you? Are you saying that your people are undisciplined? Is that
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying?
I
Yes,
would be the very first to say
yes.
that Manileños are completely
Okay,
undisciplined. Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So for
Here we go.
context,
We're
right?
bringing it home
Mhm.
now.
So
Oh,
so we got George, Lizzie, and Ralph tearing
Even Mark
tearing
agrees with me right
right,
there.
right. So we got three monsters tearing things up in Manila, right? All of us will be just doing this. World star.
I don't
We're
think
just doing this all the time.
so. Maybe
There's the
only
evacuation
Japan.
order from the mayor. We need
Only
to
the
evacuate.
Japanese
We need
take
to
it serious.
evacuate. Monster attack. Monster attack. I'm
I
like,
think
we were gonna be like this. Oh shit, son! Look at the
Yeah,
monsters
that's
over
true.
there.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Mhm.
I think only Japan and China is where the discipline might have to occur because like
Yes. Mhm.
China are gonna scare because they get shot if they don't behave themselves, and in
True.
Japan they
True.
just
True.
have to
True.
be disciplined.
Mhm.
I think in authoritarian states or somewhere like Japan, we're like, no, we need to get out of here. They're more serious and they'll do it.
Authoritarian and discipline based. There's two
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
There's
And we are
two.
not like that.
Yeah.
No,
No. No.
we are
Manila.
we are far from it.
I thought you'd
Even
be
it.
disciplined, man.
Mhm.
I thought you were disciplined peoples, man. What's
What?
going on?
No. They were only
No.
disciplined when we're outside of the Philippines. When we're inside the Philippines, no.
All
Hey,
right.
you,
Don't
you
even.
have it. You have in
So
that mark.
okay.
You see,
So
they
Sir
put you
RV
on.
is living in Australia. I'm living in Australia. Sir Joel's living in the US. Sir Mark and Mark's the only one living in the Philippines right now. Sir Mark and
Yes.
Mark, school him.
Or you are
Yes.
undisciplined.
How are we in the metropolitan area? Go.
Mhm.
If things
Yes.
go wrong, if there's something going on, what's the first thing that we usually do?
You're getting
If
cooked.
Chismosa,
something
go.
like that will happen here in, let's say, Quezon City, and
Mhm.
you're shouting, "Oh my God, may mga halimaw na susugod,"
There's
they
there's
will
monsters
laugh
coming.
at you.
Yeah. Mhm.
They will just laugh at you, and they will do their things.
Mhm.
After that, if kapag naatake na tayo and
Once the
and
monsters
such,
come in.
Yeah. So yeah, we were going to get ready for our phones, and that's it.
Yeah.
What if there was a tsunami alert? It's
Tsunami
gonna be a
alert.
storm warning. Of course, they're gonna bloody
I will wait
evacuate.
for it.
We
No,
We'll
no, no, no,
yes,
actually
no.
wait
we
for it
are
Filipinos will
going
just
to
wait for
wait
it to
for
come.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh,
Serious? You
context.
want
Yeah.
me to
Okay.
evacuate?
Okay.
Yep.
Man, even
Context for
Indians are
Viraj.
bad. Indians are
Mhm.
terrible, yeah.
Sir
But
Marky
even
Mark.
deadly for the tsunami.
Okay. Sir Marky Mark. How high is the flood waters usually go in Manila? How high?
Oof.
Uh,
Here.
above human ano height.
Yeah, about human height. Yeah.
Above
Do you
human
really? Do
height.
you really think? Do you really
Take
think we
your
are
average
scared
height
of a
of 5 foot
tsunami?
10. Take your average height of 5 foot
Actually,
10. You're done. You're cooked.
Mhm.
Damn.
exactly.
No, that's the thing. No, that's the thing.
Oh,
The point here
man.
is, even if it's a tsunami, we ain't budging.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeez, man.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
thought Indians were bad. Indians are undisciplined on the roads, yeah. But I know if there's a tsunami warning or there's someone, they're getting
Look,
the F out.
In the Philippines, the concept of lines do not exist. You line up for something that doesn't exist. Everybody always tries to get ahead of you. In the Philippines, the concept of thinking about somebody else, that your neighbor. I'm concerned about him just in case something goes wrong. I want
There's
to
no
worry about
civic
him.
pride.
That doesn't exist. No.
You're saying there's no
No.
civic pride in the
No,
Philippines.
there's no such thing. There's no such
So,
thing.
are you talking about when they throw their garbage out? They just throw it in the streets.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
Jesus,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
you
You'd be
need
surprised
a
how often we
authoritarian
do that.
state, man. Jesus, man. Need some discipline.
Yes. No,
You're
there's no
outraged.
such thing.
Just like you, we
I was-
hate the environment.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
give two shits about the environment.
We've gone full circle with this. No wonder you like Awesome Opossum because you think of your country, you think of how polluted it is, you believe you care about the environment. I understand now. I get it now. But,
Just in the
Because
video
of the
game
fact-
that gives us a little bit of solace taking care of the environment, we gave two shits about the environment.
Mhm.
bad.
Well, let's put it
bad.
this way: because
It's
of the
sad,
fact of
you should
because of
care.
the fact that the value of the Philippine peso goes down precipitously every single day. You don't care about the money that you make anymore. You just keep spending. You don't worry about anybody else around you except for yourself and your immediate family. And you know that the government steals your money left and right anyway. The government steals
corrupt,
95 centavos out of every single peso, and the 5
Sad.
centavos that are left, they are eyeing greedily anyway. They don't care about the people. They only care about lining their own pockets. So you don't care about anybody else aside from you. The government doesn't care about you. The only thing that you care about is yourself. And basically that does not instill any sense of discipline. That doesn't instill any sense of morality. Everything that in terms of morality is performative in the Philippines. And
Everything's on fire. Everything is
Everything's on
hot.
fire.
Everything is wet. Even the
surely,
freaking environment hates us.
yes,
Look, this is what could happen here.
The
right? This
freaking
is what-
environment hates
Things
us.
are going to get worse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's going to be a revolution. Yeah, there's got to be a
Nah.
revolution brewing.
we had one in 1986. It didn't take.
And it did, and yeah, it will never happen again for some
Yeah,
reason.
it didn't take. So
So
the
people
fact
are not.
is, mhm,
are
the
people
fact
are too
is, yeah,
passive.
the fact about is Filipinos get better when they step out of the country because order is enforced on them.
Yeah.
But when they're among themselves, there is no order. That's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, there are a few Filipino drivers at my depot I get on with really well. They're lovely people, and
Yes.
not just drivers. Like a lot of them, obviously in healthcare, they're nurses, and like, they work with my brother, and I know people, and
Yeah.
they're absolutely lovely people that want to
Yes.
integrate with the society and do well.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
tend to assimilate better because there's rules being imposed. Because otherwise,
exactly it.
And I
we'll
think
get deported.
a lot of these people that have left the Philippines are fed up of it, and they're happy to abide by a country where there is
Precisely.
order,
Right.
and
That's
they
correct.
and they've worked hard to
That's
get
why we
out of
stay.
the Philippines, and they want to do well. So I
Yeah,
think
and that's
sad,
why
but,
we're gonna have to try to grab Mark out of there so that he can
Eventually.
flourish elsewhere. Yeah, we're gonna grab him out of there. That's why we're building this thing. You guys will find out about this later on in the Timeless Gamers podcast. But as of right now, it's in the works. Yes.
yeah. So all right. So
Right.
anyway, so we're getting tracked about undisciplined people, and what if this was happening in the Philippines?
Yeah.
It never happened. Obviously, we went on a tangent that went over the
Sorry
world.
about that. But
Right,
yeah,
back to Rampage. Go, Sir RV, go.
That's our rampage.
Look, I think it's a good
Before-
film. I think it's faithful to the video game. That's what I'll say. It's
Yes, RV, you were about to say something.
I was just going to say, before we get back on track, I just want to read out some comments from Bone
Sure.
Riker and
Sounds good.
JDM. BPO employees greater than tsunamis.
Yes, agreed.
And Bone Riker says, at signal number 4 storm, I'm still on my way to the office in Rockwell.
There you go. That's true. Yeah.
It needs to be up no matter what.
Yep,
Oh, there's a
that's it.
typhoon. Yeah. If there's a typhoon, you still go to school and you still go to work.
Jesus, man.
One thing I learned about that is if an emergency happens, you just pack an extra blanket, you just pack extra food, and if you need to stay overnight someplace, that's where you are. You know, that's
You're
Oh.
calling sick because you have diarrhea. We have a perfectly working toilet here. Just
Yeah.
come just come your ass here to work.
yeah.
Sit on the toilet, do your work here.
Mm.
I mean, have you guys? I mean, look, I don't know we're going off tangent, but I want to know, you three who've left, like 2 Aussies who've got an American. When was the last time you went back to your country? Like, went back
Before
to your,
COVID.
2024
Or
for
COVID.
me. Yeah.
Before COVID.
2020.
And you go there. I
2024
guess
was
it's
it?
for
No, it was
family.
both of us.
Is it for family reasons you go there, or
Yes.
is it tour, or you care?
Yeah, but then again, let's put it this way. We've left the country. We love it. It will always live in our hearts, but we
Yeah.
recognize that there is no
Change.
getting better to it
Future.
within the next 50 or so years. Not unless
Sad.
some authoritarian leader comes in and whips the whole thing into shape and fashions everything into his image where discipline is enforced. But
Yeah.
sad
If-
to say, yeah. Mhm.
To Sir Joel's point, if the current government that we have now, from the Congress to the Senate,
Mhm.
if all of those full slate, like a complete slate,
Mm.
wiped off,
Yes.
fresh batch of people,
Mhm.
intelligent, qualified individuals running the country, sure, why not?
Yes.
But it's the same people for the last 4 or 5 decades, Sir Joel.
Mhm. Agreed. Yeah. Heck, our Enrile just died recently, right? And he's been there since since Adam and Eve was walking
60s?
since Adam and Eve were walking the Garden of Eden when God created the Garden of Eden and
I'm really
Adam,
sorry to hear this.
yeah,
To be honest, I didn't
Adam
think
and
things
He
were
was
that
he
bad.
was the gardener.
what the heck is that? Yeah, he was in
I
the
thought
garden.
India was bad. In certain areas, India is bad. It's improving slowly, but because its economy is growing and it's doing well for itself. To be honest, Indians are motivated and driven to do things. It is still a developing nation, and that's mostly down to its population. But
Mhm.
if there's a tsunami, they'll run. They'll do what they got to do. But I'm shocked to hear that this is the case with the Philippines, and they've given into apathy. They should protest. There should be a revolution. You should care.
There should be, but we had again, like I had said, we had one in 1986. It
Damn.
didn't take. Nothing happened. So
You
it's
know
like,
what,
Falls
Sir
on
Joel?
deaf
I think
ears.
because it's way
Well,
too
we're in
hot to
2026 now.
it's way too hot to pick it outside.
that's true.
okay?
That's right.
That's very true. That's very true.
I mean, that's why we have phones. We'll just do the revolution
That's very
on a
true.
mobile.
The weather is not conducive to armed revolution. So sad to say.
No,
Too hot.
it wasn't. I mean,
Mhm.
it was not. It was not that hot back in 1986.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Way too hot now to go outside to do anything else.
I say we do a revolution, man. All of us go back there. We do a better job. We should do this. I'm angry.
Next episode, revolution.
Annoyed.
Let's
We
rampage.
do this.
Let's tear shit up. Let's tear up some buildings.
Get the rampage. Get these monsters to do it for us. No wonder Marky's like, no, I believe in the monsters over humanity. Look where he's
Exactly.
living.
That-
Exactly.
That is why Sir
Yeah.
Mark is siding with the monsters.
That's
what
it.
Sir
That's
Mark
true.
is saying,
That's very true.
humans,
That's the only way
being
we can get
Filipinos,
revolution.
really,
Get you to come to
the Filipinos in power. They want Sir Mark wants to get those monsters, bring them to the Senate, bring them to the Congress,
eat them up.
tear some shit up.
JDM,
know?
of course, brought it absolutely home and absolutely true. The problem here is that
Yeah,
we are
absolutely preventive.
reactive rather than preventive
Mm.
because
That's human nature, though, isn't
yeah,
it?
well,
really?
the thing, yeah, it's human nature, but if you notice other societies, they do have a strong sense of civic duty. They do have a strong sense of
Mm.
I'm doing this for the future. I'm doing this for
and
yes.
and patriotism.
Yes,
Caring about your country.
exactly, yeah.
Americans, say what you like about them. I know I joked about them being dumb, but that's another
Mhm.
thing. but their patriotism, they love their
Yes.
country.
Oh, very
Regardless
patriotic.
if you're
Yeah, yeah.
Democrat or Republican, they love their country. They have a level of civic
Hundred
In their
pride.
own way, yes.
We've had
Yes.
some marches recently, right? And people might be misguided on their marches, but they love their country. So I think there's a level of they do care. They will vote. They will do things. They will protest. They will do these things. Whereas, you know, in India, it's a 50-50 thing. There isn't much civic pride in certain areas, but it's a country where people do take pride. When the cricket is on, they support India. So I suppose
Sir Mark, Sir Arvi, Sir Joel knows this, and maybe the others down there in the chat will know this. There is this one person who we think is a revolutionary in his own right, but he's too young to run for presidential
yourself
office.
with your cap in it. You got the cap. You got the revolutionary cap. You got the NYC,
No.
yeah?
So there's this one guy who's really making waves in the Philippines, but unfortunately he's too young. He's 38, and even if he turns so he's 38. So and oh no, he's not 38. I mean, when the next presidential election comes in the Philippines, he will turn 38. So he's still 2 years younger. In the Philippines, you have to be at least 40. So there's this one guy who we really want to become president. He's still too young, and unfortunately for him,
prospects there.
unfortunately for him, good guys like him, they unfortunately in the Philippines we have a history with this. They don't last long. They get killed off.
Yeah, either they get taken out or they get corrupted by the system anyway. Because of the fact
Eventually.
that we're talking about one person against what? Thousands of people who are entrenched into the government who are comfortable with the take that they
Deep-seated
have.
in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And as soon as their pockets start to get a bit lighter, someone's got to go.
Yeah, that's
Someone's gotta go.
So
That's
there.
sad.
Getting
very
back though, that a little bit of a
Rampage, go.
tangent, yes, that
Rampage,
being
go.
said, that
Just
being
to,
said,
We need to put a rampage in the Philippines, man.
Yeah.
We need to fucking take these bastards out, man. We need to do it. I'm with you, Mark. I'm supporting the animals now.
there you go. That's it. Now you've convinced Raj.
Now
There
I'm
you go.
convinced. Yeah, the people in the Philippines are bad. After what
Yes.
they've done to you, man.
That's true. That's
Angry,
true.
man. We should
Mark,
take
just
out the
to-
parliament
Sir
building.
Mark is a victim of the system.
Yes, it's true. It's
Yes.
true.
Okay.
Mark
Bad, man.
is
We should get a
Mark
fight,
is
man.
basically the picture of an idealist who has woken up to the reality of things over there and really understands how things are now.
Being brought down by the man.
So Mark's woke. Mark is woke. Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Mark
right.
is-
But in any case, getting
Or
back
the right meaning of the word woke. The right meaning.
So yes, getting back to the movie does give a good sense of what happens if things go out of control. And yeah, despite the military being there, they saw how nature can strike back at you, modified nature anyway. And yeah, I would say this is a good, shall we say, allegory of if things the hubris of humanity and how things might completely go out of control, even if you think that you have it under control, can happen. So yeah, Rampage, good
So
video
like
game
Jurassic
movie.
Park, then, basically, like Jurassic
Yes,
Park.
yes, good video game movie. As Joe says, it might not necessarily break the video game curse, but it's good enough for turning off your brain when you're watching it in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got a little something for everybody.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, on Rotten Tomatoes has it around 51%. Critics have it around 51%.
Yeah.
Audience though, 71%. 71%. So
So what? C plus?
yeah,
Kind of.
it was.
It's got on IMDb, it's 6.1 out of 10, and that's 202,000 people have seen it. So a lot of people have seen this film.
A lot of people.
That's
Yeah,
6.1. 6.1 is what? 3 stars, if that, less than that, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Personally,
You know what? We should be doing some submissions to Rotten Tomatoes ourselves.
Why not? I would do that. Yeah.
Strictly for video game adaptations.
Well,
I think-
the critics, yeah, like I said, the critics just don't know what the masses want anymore. Yeah, go ahead, RV. You were saying.
No, I was just gonna wrap it up. I was just gonna say, personally, I'm gonna side with the audience here. I think it's a 7 out of 10 or 3 out of 5, if whatever you want to score. But
yeah, I'll
personally,
say 6.
that's my rating. I want to maybe ask Sir Mark your rating on the movie.
The
Wrap
movie
it up.
itself, without any reference to the video game at all. How did you enjoy the movie out of 10?
It's somewhere around 7 or 6 for me. I mean, the movie's good,
Mhm.
but for me, like what you guys know from me. I haven't played the video game yet, so
Yeah.
I'm basing it from the movie itself. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's like 6 or 7 for me.
6 or 7 out of 10. Okay.
I guess the good thing, you don't need to really play the game. It's just really just a fun
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Actually,
standalone,
I
really.
think,
Like
I think
you
you
haven't
do
really
need to
played
play the game.
at all.
Personally, I think you should play it because it's a good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very
Play
good.
the Master System one. Play it on emulator and ROM. Just play it.
Yeah.
You never know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
It's interesting to see where the source material came from.
Exactly. Exactly.
And out of respect for
Uh,
Brian F. Collin, who made it, because without the game,
Yes.
this film wouldn't be seen. So
Please come join us, Brian. Of course.
Yes, we'd love to have you over. We want to pick your brain on your experiences of how you made the game Rampage. We'd love to have you over, please.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll talk to him. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm so
You
Viraj,
know what? I
you're-
did, I mean, I did send a link to him if he's
Yeah.
willing or
He's
if he's
very
able
busy.
to
He's
join us.
Yeah,
retired.
but he
Yeah,
might be
right.
busy. It's
It's too early for him.
a Memorial
Got
Day
to plan it.
weekend, so a lot of things are happening here during this weekend. So he might have had plans. Anyway, RV was asking you, Viraj, your rating overall.
I think you said 7.
Um,
Sorry.
So I'd say 6 out of 10 or 3
Seven.
stars. It's
Yeah.
a high 6. I'll say it's a high 6.
High So
So
Joel,
All right. As a movie, I definitely give it about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Because of the fact that it delivers on its promise. It's a rampage movie. It's a blockbuster type of movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, or it doesn't have too many pretenses. And yeah, I'd say you go in
it
there
doesn't
knowing.
have too many
pretenses.
pretenses. The Rock
Yes.
got shot in the gut and he lived.
Well,
like,
yeah, because of the fact that it's
the whole fucking thing is
Yeah.
he was wearing a bulletproof
Yeah.
vest.
in the pretense that I'm not going in there
It's The
in there
Rock.
for Shakespeare. I'm not going in there for Shakespeare. I'm going in
It's
there
not
for
pretending to be Shakespeare, but
Yeah.
it's pretending that human beings can live in
Yeah.
the most ridiculous.
exactly. I'm not going in there for
Mexican
Citizen
circus,
Kane or
that's
Shakespeare or Casablanca. I'm going in there for The Rock. So yes,
but-
I would say I could give it a good 7 or 8 out of 10 because it's a good, enjoyable movie, and I don't go in there with false expectations. Viraj said, what was that? 7 out of 10.
I gave it 6 out of 10.
6 out of
It's a
10,
high
okay.
6 or 3 stars out of 5. 6 out of 5.
Okay, and Joe.
Okay. I'll be in character. I'll try to be in character for this.
Okay.
So the Joe will give the movie credit for not trying to actually be the game.
Mhm.
The Joe thinks the movie is taking the premise of the game and expanding on it
Mhm.
to be something else, which is not the game itself, but to be our own creature feature, B monster movie, sci-fi movie, and that's cool if they wanted to do it like that. But as the game per se, the Joe remembers seeing the game back in the 90s. The Joe played the game at least once, and when watching this movie, the Joe thinks, okay, it's enjoyable. There's proper pacing in here. Eventually, the characters had their own motivation. They explained briefly why they're here and why they're doing what they're doing, what the plot is. So the Joe understood all of that. Okay, so the Joe will give this. It's decent. Okay. Out of all the stupid things, out of all the stupid things, the Joe thinks that, or at least tend to question some of the logic here. But then again, hey, like Sir Joel mentioned, something just turn off your brain, don't question it, just enjoy it. The Joe gives this 7 out of 10.
All right. Nice.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice.
All right.
On that
and
note,
yeah. wrap it up.
before we go, before we do the shameless plugs, we'll go to a break, and I have a quick game for all of you.
Oh,
Before-
sounds
before we go.
good. Sounds good. Sure.
Let's go. But yes, we'll go to a quick sponsorship break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Sounds good.
Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user-friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi-streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated, exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch-ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fanbase. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history.
Welcome back, and thank you to everyone for sharing their reviews, thoughts, and ratings of the Rampage 2018 film with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been in many films, and I've just made a little game for you guys, kind of a family feud style, or I like to call it Timeless Gamers feud. So I'll just share my screen here, and you got to guess. I asked ChatGPT to collate Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's all the movies top 10 from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, combine their scores, and give the top 8. So here they are.
What?
I'll put it on my screen now so you can share. You can share it. So I have the top 8 Dwayne Johnson top-rated movies.
Oh, so are we doing this together, or we just taking...
do it together. Do it together.
Okay, so obviously Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, must be up there.
Let's see. Yes,
Hey,
Jumanji is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll
Mark,
go out of a limb and say Baywatch.
Baywatch. Okay, yeah.
That was a sexy movie, man.
Oh, not there.
Really?
Okay, that's strike one.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Come on, man.
No.
That's a travesty, man. It's a
Okay.
sexy movie.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, which one?
To keep it simple,
Uh,
because he's been in so many Fast and Furious, I've included the top-rated one. So
Okay, sounds
let's
good.
see. Fast and Furious 7.
7.
Combined IMDb score and a Rotten Tomato score of 76.
76.
Nice one, Sir Joel.
Okay, yeah. All right, nice. All right, Mark, you want to
So,
take
Mark.
a shot at it?
I know you
I
love The Rock.
forgot the movie.
Describe it.
Oh,
Describe
same
it.
one.
Nakalimutan ko talaga yung sasabihin.
It's okay. It's okay. So he'll pass for the moment. Okay, Joe.
Oh, hang on. Are we talking about the Rock actually as the main leading guy, not or not anyone else?
So I've excluded I've only put one Fast and the Furious, and I've excluded Moana because it's not
It's not technically him.
it's not
Yeah,
technically
mhm.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say the Scorpion King.
Scorpion King.
King. Good
Okay.
guess. Good
Let's
guess.
see.
Bow, bow.
Ah, that's too
Nothing.
bad.
Really?
It was his first film. It was shit though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even him. Did you see his face? It was some CGI fucking bloated piece of shit.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
looked like him.
All right, so we swing around then. Next, let's have Viraj do it again. Since you took the first swing.
Oh God. The
So
other
I did
Jumanji
mention-
film. Can we pick
The
another
other
Jumanji?
Jumanji. that is so
Other
safe.
Jumanji,
Are we allowed to
okay.
mention the same? There's another Jumanji film, man.
It was the first
I
one.
did exclude, so I excluded. I only put one Fast and the Furious and one Jumanji. So unfortunately,
Okay,
the other
okay.
Jumanji-
Alright.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Can we? What about that G.I. Joe piece of shit he was in?
Oh yeah, it's in there.
G.I. Joe.
Rise of Cobra.
Right.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's
Okay.
a pot shot, man.
Okay.
I'll take
Can
a
I
swing
just say
then.
there was another movie someone mentioned previously. I think it was you, Sir Joel.
Yeah,
If you
Central
remember.
Intelligence.
Central
Central
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah, it's got to be higher. It's got to be up there.
Good movie.
Number
68.
5.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Ooh.
I'll give you a clue. We
I
mentioned
would
this movie.
say what else? San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Andrew?
Okay.
What about Black
Bum-bum.
Adam?
That's
Nothing.
No.
Right.
What
Nothing.
about
Okay.
No.
Black Adam?
Black Adam, no.
Oh yeah, Black Adam
He was in Black Adam.
should
no.
be in there.
No. No.
That's racist.
Really?
Oh,
Guys,
Black Adam?
The Rock was in 30 plus movies. I've
He's
only,
black. That's the only reason. Racism.
you have to think like a critic. You have to think.
Okay. Think like a critic.
No, I mean, you know what? What you know what the problem with Black Adam? Can we just call him Adam? Do we have to call him Black
No, it's
Adam?
Black Adam.
But is there like is there a white Adam?
No.
I think he was in a movie called Walking Tall, right? I forgot.
Yes, he was in the movie called Walking Tall. But he
Walking
was
Tall.
not there. Bum, bum.
Ah, that's too bad. Okay.
What about,
I'm
what
not
about
even
Hercules?
okay.
What about Hercules?
I'm not even
Hercules?
trying. Okay, I'm not even trying to Google
I'll
this
take
shit. Okay,
that
I'm just
Hercules film.
running it on top of my
Oh,
head.
Off of memory. Off of
Uh,
memory.
How about
Hercules?
Tooth Fairy?
Tooth
Tooth
Fairy.
Fairy.
Yeah, but did
Tooth
you
Fairy?
say
All right,
Hercules?
Viraj put
No.
in Hercules first.
Hercules. Bum, bum. I do like
Ah,
Hercules.
okay, really?
Nothing.
Okay, and
Oh,
Tooth
man.
Fairy, no. Okay.
He's
Hmm.
been in a lot of shit films then.
Think.
You know?
Think.
Oh, red
What
red
about-
one.
I'm
Red
gonna-
Notice.
He was in the other
He-
guys.
he-
The other guys.
Even
Mark is
even
saying
Sir
Red
Joe
Notice.
Mar says even Sir Joe Mar says shocked because Black Adam's not even in the list.
Other guys. Someone
Yeah, Black Adam's a good
Savaraj.
film.
Other guys.
The
The other guys.
The other
Oh,
guys.
yeah, I remember. But he didn't stay on there very long, did
He was a
he?
very short
Okay.
role, but he was in the
Does that
film.
even count? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the movie? The Disney movie, the one with they're in
Jungle
this boat.
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Jungle
um,
Cruise.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Bum, bum. There you go.
There you go.
That's it. There you go.
Jungle
Okay.
Cruise.
I like that movie.
Oh yeah, that was all right. It was all right actually. Yeah.
Jungle
Mhm.
Cruise. I've not seen that film.
Yeah.
How about
I'll give you a
Skyscraper?
clue for number one. It's
Mhm.
a wrestling movie.
Oh,
Oh. There's a wrestling movie that he's in?
Yes.
there's a wrestling
Was
movie.
it
is
a
it?
WWE movie?
I'll just show
WWE,
it.
one of them.
I don't
Friday
think
the
you'll,
13th.
I don't think you'll guess it. It was Fighting with My Family.
Oh, I never saw that
Ah.
one. No.
that one.
Mm, No.
Yeah,
mm-mm.
Fighting with My Family.
Really?
And
Okay.
The wrestler.
And the last one, let me just show it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I haven't actually seen this one, but it's the rundown.
The
Right,
rundown.
I haven't seen that one
Yeah,
yet. No.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of. He was been in it a lot. Like I was surprised because, like I said, I
A
asked.
lot of it is shit, to be honest. Let's be honest. It's not highbrow. So you're gonna be shit, yeah. But like, he made a lot of money. But bottom line is, these films have made money.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in there. They don't have to be good. They can, just as long as they're making money, it's good. That's it. But I got
You know what?
Jumanji and the other guys. So it's just two top answers.
Well, to be honest, look at that list. All of those movies happened in 5 years.
Yeah,
In span of
I
5
mean, he
years,
was-
all of that happened.
he was in the Gridiron Gang. Get Smart, if you remember Get Smart, he was in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
I love Get Smart. That was a good film. And Hathaway.
GI Joe, Pain and Gain, another one. I actually enjoyed Pain and Gain.
First-
Doom.
Yeah,
Doom.
Doom?
Yes.
Yeah,
Doom. He
Doom.
was in Doom. Yeah.
Doom.
So,
He
like I
was in
said, he's
Doom?
been in over.
Yeah.
I think 35 movies. So
He jokes about it being bad as well. He joked about it being bad as well. We don't want another Doom. He said something like that. But I like Doom for what it was. And the first time I actually saw him on television other than WWE was in an episode of Star Trek Voyager, which I used to watch.
Oh.
He was an alien in that. Oh, shit, it's The Rock, and he comes in, he's a wrestler in an alien planet, and an alien, he's fighting 7 of 9. I thought, what the hell? it's worth watching just that clip of The Rock in Star Trek. It's hilarious.
Mm.
He does the people's eyebrow as well when he comes
Sir
in.
Jomar is calling you out, Sir RV.
Oh no,
Hey, that's-
sir.
And
Can I
that's
just
really
say,
not something that he had any control over. RV did it in Chat GPT.
I
Yeah.
asked GPT to compile a list.
I mean, he
of-
literally did this like the morning. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly
I
fine.
agree
That's
with-
perfectly fine.
I agree with Sir John because The Rock was in this film called Black Adam, as I mentioned, and I think that's a good film. I don't know if any of you guys have
I like
seen
Black
it.
I
Adam,
haven't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it yet.
If
I'll
it
have
was-
to
if
I'll
it
have to
made
catch
money-
it sometime.
Well, okay. So the list did say top rated. Okay.
Yes, top rated.
top rated as per
yes.
IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
enough.
Combined the
which just
scores.
goes to show
Yeah.
how out of touch the critics are with the audience. There you go.
He did say top rated, so I mean it's not TGS rated.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
top rated by
I'll be
ChatGPT.
honest. I love Jumanji. I think Jumanji for me would be my favorite. Personally.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
don't
the
know
best
you
one
guys.
he's done.
Yeah.
It's funny in that film, and not just him. It's Jack Black, Kevin Hart,
Kevin
and
Hart, yeah.
Gillian.
Gillian.
Nebula.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillian. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
She's
yeah,
hot
yeah.
in that film. I like
Oh,
all of
yeah.
them. I love
The
them.
old
They're funny. They're
Jumanji
funny.
or the new one?
The new one.
The first one. Welcome to the Jungle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the other one is called The Next Level, I believe. But there's a new one
The
coming
Next
out as well.
Level.
It's a new one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, man,
Alright.
the first one with Robin Williams will always be the best.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No, no, okay. Yeah.
Movie.
But yeah.
All right, and I think it's time to wrap it up then.
Time to wrap it up. On that note, it's time for the shameless plug. But before I do, I want to thank our two listeners and commenters, Mummy Jane, Baron Yorika, Ray Q, Sir JDM, Richard Ryan, Kurt. Thank you, Kurt. Sir John, thank you for commenting. And I also want to thank everyone, all our panelists, for sharing thoughts on the movie Rampage. So Viraj, where can they Negan your Lucille?
Negan my Lucille. You can find me at the Sega Genesis group on Facebook. Usually loitering there because I'm a Sega man. You find me obviously here on this channel. I'm talking about stuff with these fine gentlemen here about retro video games and all sorts of fun things. And you can, I buy and sell retro video games. So there's Bygone Games UK on Twitter. You can see all my new pickups there and when I'm selling at the next market. So there you go. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sir Viraj. So Marky Mark, where can they ram your page?
Acknowledgement to JDM. There you go.
Thank you, Sir JDM.
Well, thank you guys for having you here in TGS. You can catch me in my Facebook page on One Up Quest. You can also catch me on my first personal Facebook, Macanson Verama, for some random life and some random rants as well. So see you guys next time.
Thank you, Sir Marky Mark. So Joel, where can they Lizzie your lizard?
All right. You can almost always find me here on the Timeless Gamer Show, unless real life gets in the way. And again,
Like earlier.
Yeah, like earlier. Apologies for running late today, but yes, I was able to make it. And you can almost always find me streaming when I get the chance on twitch.tv, on kick.com, on rumble.com, #FUFB, and on the brand new streaming platform called streamer.live, STREAMR.LIVE. Very light, very easy to use, easy to set up your account, and yeah. You can stream your new favorite games and movies there that are normally not allowed. You can even play and complete albums there without any restrictions. Check it out, streamer.live, STREAMR.live. There's some really interesting movies that have been streaming there, like Scorpion Nights. You might want to check it out. But in any case, that is where you can find me. And yeah, almost always here on Timeless Gamer Show. Thanks to everybody for attending our podcast about Rampage, the video game movie. Thanks very much, everybody. Back to you, RV.
You, Sir Joel. And finally, Sir Joe, where can they rock your bottom?
Oh,
Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right. So you can still find Joe here at the Timeless Gamer Show. You can also find Joe at the Saturday Smart Talk every first Saturday of the month, and also along with Sir Joel, the Joe will also be a part of this new podcast regarding anime and manga, which reminds me, Sir Joel, apparently Sir RB also likes anime, so
There you go. We've got our lineup ready. Nice.
there's a few of us right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you all. Thank you guys so much for participating in the chats about Rampage.
Rampage. Thank you again to all my panelists. You can catch me, Sir RV, on Retro Vibes on YouTube, as well as Saturday Smart Talks every first Saturday of the month. But thank you to watching for listening to the Timeless Gamer Show or watching on YouTube. Where our games, our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain
Timeless.
Catch you on the next
All
one, team.
right. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. And for those of you who are celebrating the long Memorial Weekend holiday, enjoy your extra day. See you guys again soon. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.